Cause me need you, me no want to. Try to understand a man need someone to enhance to. Baby girl, I could be your power supply and you could be my search plug. Someone to treat you right cause you deserve love. Me now go hide it like fingers on a work glove. So long since you gone.
Oh no, I see watching Matt just telling me something I was here. Yeah.
I wasn't watching. If I was watching it, I would be watching this. This is our one.
Ooh, baby, don't do me like that. I really, really, really want to like you.
All the fight.
Put your money where your mouth there. You want to go to school, put your money where your mouth there. Bills up the beer, put your money where.
Alright people, a few more. Then we out for this Friday.
So put your money where your mouth there. People can't find food, put your money where your mouth there. Hear me down, hear them complaining. Say the youths are long so bad. In a garage, so full of me a ruthless map. Some are rap, some are rap, some are body the crab. 18 from the love to see even and
But you know, before we leave, Raj always requests a Robert Nesta. And personally, I love Robert Nesta. Grew up on his music. So I always oblige. So up next, Sexplosion team. And before we leave, Wally, line up something for the people. Robert Nesta wise. Alright, so we're rolling out in our gunman expression. We shot the sheriff, but we didn't shoot the deputy. We are Rastas, we own up for what we do.
yeah. All around in my own town, they're trying to track me down. They say they want to bring me in guilty for the killing of my deputy, for the life of my deputy. But I say,
Alright people, thanking you once again for staying with us for the last 3 hours. On behalf of my selector Wally, I'm 9 Miles International, wishing you a great and enjoyable weekend. And please be safe on the nation's roads. As we always say, live the life you love the life you live. Do the good and it will follow you. Do the bad and it will run you down. So please, do the good. Till next week, we're out. Up next, Family Raj, Sexplosion, and the Angels. Well, Angel tonight. We out.
where was the deputy? I said I shot the sheriff, but I swear it was in self-defense. Yeah. Freedom came my way one day, and I started out of town. Yeah. All of a sudden, I saw.
Sorry doesn't come to in England.
No, it's sorry. That's not sorry.
That is sorry. I thought it's a Rasta.
We're not so
But you can pronounce it different. You can say sorry.
We have been places.
No, we's English. We'll say sorry.
We's French.
We's French, we's English.
But now what?
We's French. I'm only running into it tonight.
No, I have a little French in me, you know.
Take it easy. You're running into it too much tonight.
I have a little French in me.
I feel the point some liquor.
You have 9 miles matching your boy. You have 9 miles matching your
Yeah,
boy.
but you only running into it too.
Full speed ahead.
Yeah, boy, you might running bang.
9 miles can match me up.
I feel they see a shape there like.
The person that match me up, the mother ain't born yet.
True.
Believe me.
The mother ain't born yet?
The mother ain't born yet. Believe you, brother.
Right.
Boom, 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 boom. Hey, Rudolph, how are you?
Hey, partner.
there one time.
Yeah, but I really have to do it. You gotta lock them up right now. What you like, Shorty Shirley still playing?
So what?
Pass with time.
So what? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Nah, I'm still going.
You hear me complaining?
Nah. But you see, must you wait for complaints. The complaints is not a good thing.
True.
I look my phone here.
You know, just because last week he had his phone up, and a lot of women call and compliment him, family sitting down, you know, just as I walk in, he take up the phone and he will sit here.
Yeah, that's true. I noticed that.
Last week we was not here, but
The last time, okay, let me give you a parliament phrase. The last time you were here,
okay.
he moved the phone, you have to not come in, he moved the phone.
Yeah,
no.
but I don't blame him.
No,
If
last
you're
time.
taking away all the ladies from him.
No, the last time he
man,
make
that's
me.
hard enough.
No, he make me
I
sit
have
down
no
here.
idea.
The man,
Yeah, none
3
of
hours,
the
the man
girls.
trying hard to
Yeah, no.
do something.
I sit down here, the man let me on, let all the Facebook people see me on doing the little reggae thing with him. You know, this evening here, he take out the phone.
No, they tell me no girls, no girls, so that is why I take it off.
No, it's either that or they say they never see a white rasta.
True.
Yeah.
Well, boy, I see it when you go in,
That ball head.
I'll bring a hoagie for you next week.
Somebody lost a screw for the computer or something.
True.
I will let me check it and then check to see
Well,
what's
then you
nice.
might take out mine tonight. Ain't serious, you can't remember take it out to take.
Check and see.
See if they find all this screw.
No, but which part? Side. Nah, the only thing missing for mine is the little foot business there. And no screw car in there.
If family,
You missing that foot?
family, if a screw could go in there, your sex life will
Nah, but
terrible.
watch me, that's an important screw there, no, because I have max screw, you know.
Yeah,
So,
that's a max screw.
yeah, so watch me.
Wait up there.
Yeah, quick, yeah, because if that was me, I'd love to give up my team.
Hey Candy, how are you?
So watch me, you make it
Rudolph,
known that somebody lost a screw. for the
Ravi,
laptop, so,
Shivani,
you know.
Samantha,
That's important.
Yeah, but
Paro, Naz, Ved,
my impossible
Robin, Rohit, Valini, Rudolph, Kiki, Sally,
if you could
Valini,
$10,
Nikhail, Sandra, Vishnu, Robin, Kamini, how are you?
$100 for a screw?
yeah.
I better look for
Where
three.
they buy Namori Street?
Nah.
See what they
Apple
done
screw.
from that, like one time, quick.
That's it.
That's hilarious.
Family.
And they know the price of Namori Street too, you know?
I'm taking a shake hand because this is bouncing. One of us not today. Have a nice day.
You want to bounce up the lady?
Nah. I'll leave that for you to the right.
I'm fine. Mash it up, man.
Once again,
Sexplosion with the Angels.
Wednesdays and Fridays from 9 p.m. on Power 102, empowering you.
Thank you, Candy. Not yet. Make sure this appropriately.
He had you block off, yes?
You get it?
He back or no?
No, I'm there.
Eh? He had you block off just now. He wrote-
I only seen peace on me.
Nah, look you here, man.
You sure?
Of course, family.
Alright, if you say so. If I do so, I go out of the picture.
Nah, family.
I don't know. I'm asking you. I can't see that.
You can see that from
No.
there? Yeah, you're right there. You can see him from there? Yeah, you're plain as ever. You have on Peacock Blue?
No, I have a Mumbai blue.
Okay. Well, thank you for staying here with us on Power 102.1 FM.
What happened here?
Mic ain't working?
Your mic not working?
No.
Come on. Talk again. Try. Try your mic. Test
Well,
it.
thank you for joining us once again. Hi, hello, and welcome to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM. And a very special good evening to you. Something is not right here. We're going to check on that. Hold on a second. The background music now coming down. Oh boy.
We're having technical difficulties, so give us a minute.
Something wrong here. The background music ain't coming down, and this I know I'll do. How to get it off of here?
But he was just using the mic.
Eh?
He was just using
Yeah,
the
but
mic.
he was using it, the computer on that. And he has gone. Okay, I'll use it from here.
But it's not up on the main board.
Huh?
It's not on the main board.
What? This?
This, the mic, your mic.
Uh-huh.
It's not on the main board.
Yeah, it's on the main board, but I ain't getting no juice somewhere. Very mixed, like that, eh? That ain't working. See now? We're going full steam, whether it's going or not. I will have to do it from here. Well, thank you for staying here with us on radio. You can watch a very special good evening to you. Well, we do apologize for that little hiccup there, right? It was a hiccup, did we call it?
Well, you're in charge of the board. I don't know. I'm out here.
So I'm in the government then.
Yeah, you're in charge of the board. So you do whatever you have to do.
And a very special good evening to you once again, and we do welcome you to Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM with your host, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center out at St. Augustine, where he do treat all sexual dysfunctions. Tell you, that's the place to go if you are experiencing problems. Yeah, and a very special good evening to you, family. How are you today?
Pleasant good evening to you and to all the viewers and listeners out there in Radio Land,
Yeah.
on social media and wherever else you may be listening to the program, viewing the program. Thanks for being part of the #1 talk program, Sex Education or Sex Education for You,
Yeah.
tonight on Sexplosion. So, how was your week?
Oh, very quiet.
Well, I saw you on Wednesday. I see there were some major changes
Yes.
around the place.
Yeah.
Yes, good evening to the angel.
Yes, and
Looking lovely as ever.
Yes, very beautiful.
I thought she had a...
Lady,
You sure you get married today, girl?
Yeah, the kind of look she have is, you know, if you bounce her up in a dream.
She
you just
large and she in charge.
You don't want him to
But
wake
she
you
ain't that
up.
large, but she in charge. She was trying to get me to say something in the car today, but
okay.
she just couldn't get me to say it. And she was having a hard time. Yeah, very hard time. But she still didn't get me to say it.
No. Okay.
It was one of those.
You're trying
You'll try tomorrow.
Okay.
Let's hope I don't forget.
No, but it's always good to try. Eh?
She will forget. Believe me, she will
No,
forget.
I wouldn't.
Yes, she would forget.
No, I
No,
wouldn't.
she don't.
All I have to do is give her a sandwich and she done. She forget that.
No, she don't look like a person that forgets. So.
No, I don't.
Let me see.
Pleasant good evening to all my cousins who have joined. Kiki, Charmaine, I saw another one there. Who was it? The amount of Akash. Yes, that is the name I was trying to remember. So we have a family affair again.
Right, but this is good.
Today I was looking at the news. This evening I was looking at the news. Of course, that's what I do on a Friday evening before I come and do program. And I saw some people protesting, trying to get into the Woodford Square to protest. They protest in the removal of a law. And one person who was in the, supposed to be part of the organization or whatever, is saying that they're making new law. But if you're removing a law, you're not making any new law, you're just removing a law.
Just removing one, right? Yeah.
And we have to go with the times. Time, place, and circumstance. In this day and age, there are certain laws on the books that should not be there, especially buggery law. I don't see why people should protest removal of that. It's not going to cause more people to have sex. It's not going to lessen the incident or raise the incidence of buggery or sodomization of a person.
It won't make a difference.
No, people are engaging in anal intercourse, male and female, male and male. So what's the big deal? Why are you going to make that illegal when some of those very same people who are protesting may try it or want to do it, or may have done it also?
Oh dear.
I can't understand us as a people, you know. I really, it's not because you have 2,000 people coming out to support you, mean to say you have everybody supporting you, you know. Because if you have a population of, let's say, 1.3 million, you still have 1.2 something million people out there still don't care, or they're not supporting you.
Yeah, they're not, no.
So it's kind of difficult to understand why people will not want that removed, because in this day and age you have people who are in same-sex relationship, whether you like it or not, whether you believe in it or not, whether you religiously or any other way support it or not, but it's there. So are you going to prosecute people for their sexuality and their sexual behavior and whatnot? We have old archaic laws on the books that were designed, and again, if you go back to when these laws were designed, it was designed on biblical terms. It wasn't designed on reality. Most of these laws that were made on biblical terms.
Okay.
And you have to understand that. Some people just don't understand that, and there are things that does not relate to everyday life today, even in the past. So individuals may not, I indifferent, meaning that whether they take it out or not, I know people are still going to engage.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. And I have the facts. So when persons make statements on television and whatnot, I wonder from what angle they're speaking from and what facts they have to back up whatever they're saying. And like I said, I wouldn't say this, but I'm sure that there are people in that crowd who have engaged in something like that. I know of one person I saw in the crowd who does that. Yeah. But the person was protesting. You know, it's such hypocrisy, eh? Such hypocrisy to see this person protesting something that the person is engaged in. And I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe this.
Well, the old granny used to say, monkey do see you tail, eh?
Well, this person is doing that simply because it's the in thing to do.
Yeah, but
And if the person, I'm saying the person because I don't want to indicate whether it was male or female, but if the person don't do that, there'll be hell and high water in the family. I can tell you that much. Yeah. So when I saw the person there, I would say, you protested to keep the buggery law and you just engage in that way? Whoa. And I know it for a fact, eh? So, yeah.
So you know, you know, I won't say the brother or the sister, but you know.
I know the person.
You know the person. So you know
personally. So I was kind of surprised to see the person leading a... See, from where I sit, I see a different side of society. I see a side of society that a lot of people want hidden and locked away. But when they come to see me, I know what they engage in to a point, and then they will tell me what they do. They may not tell me everything, but I know they do tell me. I see.
Yeah, but once you get an idea, and then again, I mean, this is your job. I mean, you.
Well, yeah, from a professional. Well, that's what I'm telling you. The hypocrisy of the people.
Yeah.
I could put my head on a block and say that one person does exactly what they're protesting against.
It's like me. I could watch someone, and just having a short conversation with them. Let's say maybe about 2 minutes. As far as where music is concerned, and I could turn off the matter what style of music that they would get.
Of course,
it's the same thing like working in the music store for all these.
All those years, yes.
Once you see someone comes in, you have an idea.
But that's what you call profiling. You can profile someone in any profession that you're in.
Yeah.
That's why a police could look at you and profile you. An immigration officer could look at you and profile you. A custom officer could do the same thing. They could profile you, and they will have a sense of reading your body language and whatnot to know how far they should go with you or whatever. They would know that. And your behavior is an indication of what you do. And sometimes even if you think it is secretive, and I was looking at another program, I think 2 nights ago on a news program, where they were talking about profiling on Facebook and whatnot. There are things that you would go to no matter what. They know from the time, the amount of pictures you put up, the selfies that you put up, everything. They have a profile on you one time. Facebook does that. All social media does that. And it's frightening, If you go, there's something that you could click on Facebook.
Yeah.
Where you go and you could see what your profile is all about. And they are accurate. Because it's a computer doing it, Once you feed information into a computer, that computer is going to take that information, decipher it in all different form and fashion, and watch out for patterns. And once you go onto social media repeatedly, they will know what you're going to look at, what you like, what you don't like, what are your shares, what are your likes, what are the types of pictures you put up, and they will profile you within 10 minutes. They will know your religion. Because your photograph will reflect your religion. What you put up, if you put up something for Diwali or Eid or something, they know. Well, of course, it's a giveaway. There are things that you feel you can do and people don't know you, but there are giveaways. There are giveaways. I remember when there was the Mumbai attack. I think that was in 2007 or somewhere around there. And, the guys, some of the guys who were killed, they were wearing Raksha like this. And one person on our media in Trinidad said that could never be a Muslim, but if I want to disguise myself, I will do everything to disguise myself. People put on masks, they put on wig, they could do anything to disguise themselves. So when persons make those kind of statements, they're not thinking about the broader picture, or they're not thinking from the mind of the individual who's going to do it. If you're going to rob a bank, what are you going to do with a note, a piece of paper, right? Say, this is a bank robbery?
No sense.
You're not going to do that.
No.
You're going with a gun, and maybe a note to slip to the teller, but you have the gun there.
Yeah, that's giving away a sense.
Yeah. So there are certain traits that you will have. So it's the same thing with social media. There are certain things that you'll do on social media that they are profiles that are built about you. And don't ever feel that anything you put on the media is not out there in cyberspace. It is always there. You could delete it how much you want to.
Yeah.
You could ask every one of your friends to delete it, and we have spoken about this time after time. It is always there in cyberspace. Someone has it. Some institution has it. Someone have that.
So the minute you press that button, that is it.
It is there, yeah. Once you say send, or share, or like, the information is out there. That's why it's, there are individuals who share personal information about themselves, and they wonder 10 years down the line, how that person know that? But the person remember what they read. And you might be thinking, well, I didn't put that out there, but you did. It's like, okay, I'll give you an example. This is a program where people send me text messages all the time. So when they send me a text message, I'll ask them their name. There's one lady by name as it's a funny name. I'll tell you her name. Sent me 2 years ago. She sent me a question. So I did ask her name, and I save it under her name because if you can ask me a question, I have all rights to send a broadcast to you.
Right.
You're part and parcel of my operation. Frankisha George. And she asked me how I get her number. The only way I could get your number is when you send me a message. I don't go around asking people for their numbers.
No, that's not yours.
So when you give me your number, I have to save it. 2 years down the line, you're asking me how I got your number? Well, you have to be ridiculous. Because you're listening to my program. You have listened to it, and somewhere along the line, you would have sent a question, and sometimes I don't answer a question unless I get a name. And I save that. I have 2,000 contacts to send broadcasts to. Because you are soliciting my advice and my information, so I might as well send a broadcast to you. And I make no words about that, because once you have come into my circle, I have all rights to do that. Yeah. You're in my territory. So once you're in my territory, I start doing it that way. You may not get it all the time, but at some time you will get it. 2 other persons asked me the same question. I was like, what, you never listen to Sexplosion? Yeah. But how you get my number? Because you text me at some time. It's the same thing. A computer stores information. They are supercomputers that are triggered the minute you use certain words, whether it be by phone, text, Instagram, whatever. And we don't know that, because all these things are developed not in Trinidad, you know. We foolishly think that I put in information in Trinidad and I only have friends in Trinidad, that is only Trinidad, you know. That's what we foolishly think. We don't think about the wider community. When you have WhatsApp, and then you'll have a company buy over WhatsApp and another company buy over that company, and you don't even know who the owners are of those companies. And at the end of the day, all these social media companies are under one ownership. So they correlate data. Let me give you a simple example. If you buy something in the United States, you go to a store, they'll ask you for your email. And after that, you'll be getting messages after messages after messages from that store. But after a while, you'll see you're getting a lot of other junk messages coming to you from all different sources. And you wonder how come. It's because that store sells your information to another company.
That's the way it works.
That's the way it works. They sell information. They gather information on individuals and others, and they sell the information. So when you go and fill out a form and you put all this information about yourself, that's why when you live in the United States, you have a social security number, you have an address, you have a credit score. Without you soliciting a credit card, you get credit cards. It comes to you in the mail, you know. You have been pre-approved for a credit card. And you wonder, well, how the hell I didn't apply for a credit card? You don't need to apply for one. Your information is being sold to others consistently. And very soon it's going to happen in Trinidad. As a matter of fact, I think it's happening already.
Oh.
Yeah. There are persons who gather the information. When you go to, let's say for example, you go to one of the fast food outlets, the most popular fast food outlet. That fast food outlet is owned by a conglomerate, it's owned by a company that has many different businesses. So suddenly you'll be getting, if you give them your email for that, you went there and you buy this particular brand of food. But all of a sudden you're getting an email for another brand of food. And you're like, what? I didn't buy that. I never went in that store. I never bought that type of food. And you're wondering how come. So that's why when you do things on social media, when you expose yourself, when you give out information about yourself, it is out there in cyberspace. And cyberspace does not disappear. No way it's going to disappear. When you think you send someone to a person privately, encrypted or whatever word they want to use via WhatsApp. Don't think that it's not captured by something else and it's out there, Don't ever think that someone else don't have that. It's frightening the amount of things that could be shared in cyberspace.
Yeah, they always say technology is a big improvement, but
no, technology is fantastic. But technology is not only fantastic, but it is something you have to use it in a particular way where you guard yourself all the time. But in guarding yourself, there is something that you have to understand, that your information is being guarded and a profile is being made of you. And once that profile is made, it's there. It's there for someone else to use it sometime along the line. So that's what happens. Look at what happened with the Cambridge analysts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is just the tip of the iceberg. That is nothing. Don't do that. No, don't worry. That is just the tip of the iceberg. There are many things out there. So when you talk about something personal, when it comes to something that is sexual, you have to be very careful. So that's why I tell you, when I see this person in that crowd, walking with that crowd, protesting against the removal of a law for buggery, and I know for a fact that that person engages in that.
Unreal.
So your picture is out there protesting something, but somebody who knows you or knows something about you can pinpoint and say, that's a hypocrite. Because that person does do that, and look, that person is there protesting against it. Nah, something is wrong. So,
unreal. Anyway, folks, taking return, it's now 29 minutes after 9 o'clock. You are on the inside of Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM with the sexologist, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center out of St. Augustine. And I tell you, if you are experiencing something sexual that might be bothering you, you're seeing some signs that, it's not welcoming signs, check the Adult Therapy Center out at St. Augustine, opened every day of the week. Well, I'll tell you what we are going to do. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
You're dirty in that, don't do that. I know, but I didn't want to see you do that.
Are the problems and destructive anxieties of today?
Hi Asha, hi Veda.
Time to readjust your
More cousins joining, boy.
Your vision. It's now. Join Pastor
Aliyah.
Samson on the Vision for Devotional program every Monday from 5
Jafina,
to 6 a.m.
Sidaris.
right here on Power 102 FM.
Junior.
Jesus is the only one who can give you peace in the midst of
I'm on the headphones. I don't hear headphones.
Is it Niran or Mrs. Nanku on? Hey Bobby, how are you? Lester, Jenny, Lachman, Sherian, Melissa, Suresh, Ricardo, Asha, this is Asha Supraj, Leela, Julie Sichan, Natalie, Mahesh.
Supermarket, the East-West Corridor Food Champions, Gracie San Juan and the Fabled Village, Santa Cruz.
Your car is for you to enjoy, and many victims of car theft feel helpless at that dreadful moment, not knowing if their car will ever be recovered. Don't let this happen to you. Get car safe from Air Support Tactical Security. They maintain a 100% recovery rate using their military trained response teams and advanced online tracking solution. Call Air Support today at 225-8725 or visit them on Facebook at Air Support GPS. Air Support GPS for peace of mind.
Trinidad and Tobago, we're ready, standing united, and moving forward as one. So let's do this. Let's do this. With Sharma Wilson, Saturdays from
Where is it?
One nation and all in this together. We are all in this together. Let's
They'll hear sounds in the background, but they won't hear exactly what you're saying.
Every Saturday morning on radio you can watch Power 102, empowering you.
Tell them you're not whispering, you're talking to me.
You are in Trinidad and Tobago or the world. The power of Power 102 FM is in your hand. Download the free Power 102 FM app on your iPhone or Android today. It's power to go.
Power up your Saturdays on Power 102 FM.
Yo, this is Marshall Montana on Power 102 FM.
With the best music and personalities to power your day. All day on a Saturday. Sir Charles, Chris, DJ Maggie, Gaylan, and the ultimate DJ
That's right.
This is Capri and you're listening to Power 102.
Power up your Saturdays on Power 102 FM. The power of music. Power up Saturdays from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
I see that.
All day on a Saturday on Power 102. Empowering you.
We can have all on the rim. All about.
Wednesdays and Fridays from 9 p.m. on
Bus.
Power 102, empowering you. With the Doctor of Sex, Dr. Raj.
Hi, this is Dr. Raj. I am on Power 102 with Sexplosion and the Angel. It will be exciting once again.
Sexplosion with the Angels.
Wednesdays and Fridays from 9 p.m. on Power 102, empowering you.
Check in the other section.
Well, I can definitely tell you that there's always more to explore in sex education when you are on the inside of Sexplosion here on Power 2.1 FM with the Sexologist, your host, Dr. Raj Randanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center out at St. Augustine. Now, here's where we give you the opportunity to interact with Dr. Raj. Feel free, our lines are open. 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you do decide that you want to send him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile, 740-1961. You're listening to a program that's informative, educational, and of course entertaining exclusively right here on Power 2.1 FM. Yeah.
I see my nephew Amit is on. I see, let's say, pleasant good evening. Well, Asha Charles, Roshan Ramlogan, Shafina Ali, Marissa, Indira, Neil, Catherine, my cousin David. How are you? I haven't spoken to you in a long time. Shouldn't wait so long, cause Sandra, still having problems?
No, I just see a reading there, so. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was telling you about when we do things and we put it out in cyberspace. Lots of times we want to impress someone, we want to show off something, and we don't realize what we're doing. Sometimes we want to show off ourselves in a particular place, a particular way of doing something, and there's someone who is looking at you from a different angle. And they can build a profile also and figure out things about you. So you have to be very careful about it.
And I'd say no two people can see the same image of you.
That's why eyewitness accounts are something that they question now. If you and I witness something and you witness it from that angle and I witness it from this angle, we'll see two different things.
Yeah.
Because sleight of hand, you're talking about the way a person position themselves. What they do will give you a different impression. It will create an impression in your mind, and your mind going to fill in the gaps. And it will fill in the gap based on your biases. So if you are biased towards something, if you dislike what the person is doing, your mind is going to put something there immediately against that person. That's why persons, when they make accusations and whatnot, that's what they do. They fill in the gaps. So you have to be very careful about that, because it's not always what you see. They say seeing is believing, but
yes, they say so. Seeing is believing.
Not all the time. It's like person seeing a light in the sky. Some person might see a hot air balloon, another person might see a alien aircraft, another person might see a plane, another person might see a man jumping out of a ship or something. It's different things that you'll see, but it may not be the same thing. So when you're in your little area and you're engaging in something sexual, enjoy whatever you're doing, and that's it, yeah? Enjoy it to the fullest.
See, enjoy laugh there, boy. Anyway, folks, taking our time is now 23 minutes before 10 o'clock. I tell you, nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education. Exclusively right here on Power 2.1 FM with your host, Dr. Raj Ramnanan. Yo.
Remember on Wednesday I was talking about when you conjure up something in your mind. We were talking about love. And when we start to go into the realm of sex and fantasy and fascination and things that you don't even know exist, but suddenly someone or some things remind you of that. It's like when you were young and you're looking at a movie and you see a certain scene, and that scene did something to you, whether it created a fear or it created an excitement or it created a sexual response from you, it will always have that impact on you, you know. Anytime you think about that particular scene, it will have that impact on your mind, because that is the original impact it had on your mind.
When you first...
Yeah, when you first saw it.
Yeah.
So long ago, that's why a lot of movies when I came into Trinidad, it was 18 years and over, 14 years and over, PG and all those things. And even when it was 14 years and over, they still would censor certain parts out of it.
Yeah.
Because you had a censor board, which was to me was
well,
I don't want to use the word, but
no.
They would determine what you should and should not look at.
Right.
But I wish that censor board and people who on that censor board existed today to see where the world has gone. Because the things that we wanted to censor, the stupid little things that were censored by the censor board, is now being shown on television as part of a sitcom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sexual behavior or sexual innuendos or things that people are engaging in that were barred from cinema, where you're paying your money as an adult to go to cinema to watch this, is now being shown on television as normal mainstream television.
But you know, anytime someone mentions something about age and 14 and 18 years and over, I always go back to many years ago, and I mentioned that to you a couple of programs before, that when Dr. No came out with Sean Connery and Ursula Andress.
Yeah.
And just because she was walking out of the sea in a bath suit, they made it 14 years and over.
Yeah, for that one particular scene.
That was the only reason.
For one particular scene.
Yeah.
And you know, these guys would sit in their high offices in those days and tell you, well, we cut out that because of so and so, and you cut out a part of a movie, or you made it a age. And you wonder where these people brain were.
Unbelievable.
Well, again, time, place, and circumstance. That was there then, and this is now.
Oh, yeah.
Could you imagine what's going to happen in the next 10 years?
Yeah, but no, you don't even have to go to cinema to see these things.
No, well, I'll tell you, could you imagine what's
TV.
going to happen in the next 10 years? I can't.
No,
it's going to be much. We have much more exposure, and they're going to have things that we even think about yet. There are things out there that we haven't even thought about as yet.
Yeah, but it makes one wonder where next. You know, anytime something new comes out, you always ask yourself, I wonder what next they're coming with.
You could sit and wonder how much you want. They already have it out there. It's being developed.
Because, I mean, you into music as well to a certain extent, and when we thought 8-track was the thing, they hit your cassette. When you think, okay, well, they said,
it will have nothing better than cassette.
No, but before 8-track, they had reel-to-reel.
Reel-to-reel, yeah, well, big reels. Yeah.
And after cassette, they went to...
But you know what? Is that some people who still believe in reel-to-reel, even though 8-track and cassette was out?
A lot of the older radio stations as well, they still use reel-to-reel.
Yeah.
And then to stock information.
They use reel-to-reel.
And now, you just take a little stick and you put it in a computer and you have 5,000 tracks. And you never thought it would have come to that.
That's why I tell you, I don't stop to think about that. Because I know there are things out there that whatever the human mind conjures up, it's going to happen. It's the same thing when we talk about sex and sexual situation. That's why I tell people, don't limit your thoughts based on your myopic vision, the myopic way you do things. Your religion will put you in a shell. Your morals will put you in another shell. And this is a shell within a shell. And you become myopic. You only see things in a tunnel vision and you think that there's nothing else out there. That's why I tell you, when you have a protest against the removal of a law that affects not the majority of our citizens, but I will say maybe about 30-40% of our citizens. Because I recall when we first started to talk about anal intercourse on this program, anal intercourse is illegal, you know that?
No, no.
So if you agrees, anal intercourse is illegal.
Illegal?
Yeah. If you're caught engaging in anal intercourse, you'll be charged for burglary.
Okay, so
male, female, male, it doesn't matter.
So if you're having sex with your spouse and it didn't go too good, but you did have anal intersex, she could report you then.
If you have sex with your partner and she didn't say yes, she could report you for rape too. It's in the law. It's there. Just as how they have men who are being abused, and when they go to the station, the police will laugh at them and whatnot. But the fact remains that there's a law against that.
I saw an incident like that.
Women that abuse men. But if a woman refuses you sex, be it your wife or whoever it is, and you're reported, that is considered to be rape. But that's what I'm telling you, anal intercourse is not legal. Although we've been talking about that on this radio station for 18 years.
Oh yes, I'm keen.
But the fact remains that it is illegal. But there are persons out there engaging in it all the time. So when you have persons protesting that, I think it's on the 12th of this month or somewhere around there, that a judge is going to make a decision on that. They're trying to influence the judge's decision. What they're doing is trying to influence the judge's decision, but again, it's the same thing with marijuana. I listened to our good friend, Mr. Nori. Somebody brought up the fact that, Trinidad should be producing marijuana, and they should legalize it. And he was saying, well, they need to do much more research on it, but they don't need to do any research on it. Marijuana was legal before. A lot of people don't know that, and they don't want to accept the fact. Marijuana was made illegal. And I don't think if you legalize marijuana that I will go and buy a marijuana cigarette and sit down and smoke it. I don't get engaged in that.
I can see that happening because they're using it now. That's providing that they're using the medical.
They have all type of marijuana now. There's a Trinidadian that I spoke to last week who owns 2,000 acres of a marijuana plantation in another country. And that's a Trinidadian. And I spoke to another guy who, well, he's a Trinidadian, but he lives in New York, who has shares in a marijuana plantation in LA. What's the big deal? It's going to be legalized. Whether we like it or not, it's going to be legalized throughout the world soon. Sooner than later.
Well, I can see the medical part of it.
Not even the medical, recreational part. What's wrong with the recreational part? Marijuana is less dangerous than cigarettes.
Well, not for liquor.
Well, liquor also.
I know for liquor.
Cigarettes is a very dangerous thing,
Like I always say, if someone is involved in an accident, and most of the time you hear they're under the influence of liquor.
Alcohol.
Yeah. But you never hear a major accident and someone was under the influence of marijuana. They say when you drink liquor, you get drunk. But when you smoke marijuana, you chill.
You chill.
You're fine.
No, that's what they say.
You chill. But again, it comes back to what we were talking about initially. All I was talking about is the legality of things. You cannot have legislation on the books that are going to against the grain of society, what is happening in society. Eventually it's going to be removed, whether we like it or not. And it has to be removed. Some persons say, well, leave it there, and nobody ever charged with that. But it is there, and you could be charged with it. It's like all these little laws that they have, that they're using now for driving. The laws were always there. Like I had a friend got a ticket recently doing 60 something in a 50 kilometers per hour area. And he's like, they have no signs up. I say, didn't do your regulation. Huh? I said, it's in the regulation book. And all these connecting roads are 50. You're supposed to know that. He said, well, everybody was driving at that speed. I said, that doesn't make it right.
No, you just the unfortunate one.
No, everybody got charged.
Everybody got charged?
Yeah, everybody. But what I'm saying is that the law is there. But if you remove the law completely and say, well, that is no longer the law, like how they removed the 80 and went to 100.
Yeah.
So the 80 was removed and they upped it to 100.
Yeah, but the 100 is basically only for certain vehicles.
Well, no, certain area, certain places, right? But the point is that the laws will change. But this is not changing a law. This is removing a law off the books.
Completely.
Take it off. It makes no sense in this day and time. I know there are persons out there who are going to be opposed to it, but that's okay.
The law is the law. Anyway, folks, taking your time, it's now 10 minutes before 10 o'clock. Folks, don't forget our lines are open for those of you who would love to interact with the Sexologist, your host, Dr. Raj Ramnanan. All you've got to do is give him a call at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you do decide that you want to send him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile, 740-1961. Nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education. Exclusively on Power 102 FM.
I don't believe you have to regulate any law if you're going to plant marijuana.
No?
Or you're going to legalize marijuana, legalize it, and let the chips fall where they may. What are you looking for? Not off. No, that off. I took off that long time. You getting a different feedback. No, I took off that from the very beginning. I believe if you're going to, like, it's the same thing with alcohol. And alcohol legal. Like a different grade of alcohol, different type of alcohol. It has some alcohol, if you take one drink in it, that is it for you. And some alcohol you drink all the time. It wouldn't do you anything. Shandy have alcohol.
Yeah, but well, yeah.
But it could affect someone.
Yeah, it could. Yeah. Okay, we're going to go to the lines. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening. Hi, good evening. And who do we have the pleasure of speaking to?
I think you know who this is.
Oh.
Raj, good night.
Hi, good evening.
I'm to the angel here.
Hi, good night.
It's been a while since I haven't called.
Sangre Grande.
Yes.
I know that voice.
Do you know that voice?
Yeah. I haven't heard that voice in ages. It's good to hear your voice.
But she celebrated her birthday yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday to you.
Look at that. You get a special birthday greetings. People will get that from Dr. Raj, you know.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You get two birthdays. You get your birthday suit. You get no more birthdays.
Well, I'm still celebrating enough.
You're still celebrating your birthday?
Until Monday.
Oh, until Monday. Oh, okay. Nice. That's the most important thing. Okay, nice speaking to your family as always.
Enjoy the rest of it until Monday.
I will.
And send us up some cake or some kind of from the birthday.
Us?
Yeah, no, but this explosion crew.
Oh, I won't be here until Wednesday.
But we could save it. They can put it in the fridge.
I hope you like red velvet.
Yeah, red. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, we good with that.
You like anything to eat. Doesn't matter.
Oh my God, it was harassing people when I read about it.
Okay, darling. Okay, family.
There's a special pastry that I like.
Yeah.
And when I buy that, I can't eat the whole thing. And she ate one. And I'm like, what? Have you heard of the movie Helga or Libertines in the late 60s, early 70s? They were for 21 years and over. It might be 21 years and over in Trinidad, not elsewhere.
No.
Hi, good evening, Dr. Raj. I was told by another doctor that I have polycystic ovaries and cysts in my left ovaries. Is there anything I can do? Would this affect me from having children? Yes, if you have polycystic ovaries and if you have cysts in your ovaries, it can prevent you from carrying a pregnancy. It doesn't mean to say you would not get pregnant, but it could prevent you from carrying a pregnancy. We have a treatment for that at the Adult Therapy Center in St. Augustine. Because when you have something growing within your ovaries, you could also get pregnant in your womb, but you have a competing, two bodies within yourself competing for nutrients and whatnot, so you'll have a problem. Good night to the crew locked on and listening. That's from Anthony. I don't know what you mean by the postman, so.
The postman?
I don't know. The postman always ring twice. That was a movie to end. End?
Yeah.
The postman ring twice? Yeah, the postman ring twice.
The postman ring, but I didn't think they mentioned how many times.
No, twice. That was
twice.
it. Yeah, the postman rings twice or something like that. Yeah, that was a movie. Come on, Junior. Don't pretend you don't know.
When you coming and when you going? One ring praying, one ring for out.
I can't remember what it was about. You're trying to, you see what? Postman always ring twice, 1981.
1981.
You feel like I know my facts, sir.
What? Look like a good, I better check on that movie. It sounds like something that was.
The postman always rings twice. So we'll have to find Jack Nicholson, what do you expect? Angelica Houston, big stars.
Big movie, boy.
So getting back to our topic, what should be legal and illegal when it comes to sex? What is illegal in sex?
What is illegal?
Yeah, we're not talking about the statute books. We're talking about generally. What is illegal for you in sex? Everybody has their do's and don'ts, you know. Everyone has their do's and don'ts, including me. So don't.
Well,
This program is not about me. This is about the people out there.
But the people outside will be very interesting to hear.
No, I talk about myself all the time. I give out information freely about myself. They have to share information about themselves. I don't hold back from saying anything.
Nobody knows that for us.
Well, right, so I talk my talk.
I know you let it out.
I let it out. Literally.
Yeah.
So everyone has their restriction when it comes to things that are sexual. Yeah. Things that, and there are things that a person would do with someone else that they may not do with another person.
But they always say so.
Yeah.
Especially.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. Because if you find the right lover or the person to, how do you call it?
To switch your light bulb on.
To touch your buttons. I know Marlene has had an injury. I have to find out what's wrong with Marlene. If you find the person to touch your buttons or stimulate you in a particular way, pleasant good evening to Debbie, if you're listening. I haven't seen her on, but she should be. They can make you do things out of the ordinary. And it's not the person making you do things, you know. It is inside of you to do that. It's part of you. It's who you are. But it's just that one person did not bring it out, but another person is bringing it out. And you can take it as far as you want to go. That's the beauty of making love. That's the beauty of having sex. That's the beauty of experimenting. Sometimes you have a relationship with one person and one person only, so you never know your potential sexually, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah.
That's a matter of choice. There are persons who go through their entire life in a relationship, and that's the only relationship they know. And however the person you're with decides to have sex with you, or what they decides to do with you, that's all well and good, and that's all what you know, and that's fine. There's some women who will never perform a blowjob. There's some guys who will never go down on a woman, and that's fine if that is what you choose to do. But know that that's why many a times when a person steps outside of a relationship and gets something that is different from the relationship, they go on with that. Because it is something that is stimulating, it is something that is different, it is something that you have never done before. It is opening up pathways in your brain that you never knew existed. And it makes you feel different, because anytime, it's like traveling to a new country. When you go to a strange country, a new country that you don't know anything about, and you see the beauty of that place, the people, and what that, you fall in love with it. And if someone should ask you, what is your opinion about XYZ country? You say, well, that's the best place. It's even better than Trinidad. But remember, when you go there, you're going on vacation, you have money in your pocket, you don't live there. So you don't know what it is like to live there.
A big difference, yeah.
It's a big difference. But You want to go back, or you want to go to another country now to compare. That's the excitement of traveling. So think about it in a sexual scenario now. You are doing something with a person. Well, of course, you like the person because most of the times it must have that
kind of chemistry.
It must have the chemistry and it must have the connection with you and the person. So suddenly now you are in a sexual, and a lot of persons listening to this program may not be able to identify with that because they have never done anything with any other person. And that's okay. But know that there is something within you that once the right person touches those buttons and exposes you to those things, you yourself do not know your limitations. Sometimes it's frightening, you know. As a sex therapist, I could tell you that. As a sexual consultant, I could tell you that.
Yeah.
I have seen many a couples, many a person who want to learn bondage and discipline. That's something we are doing now. I find a lot of Trinidadians are suddenly interested in bondage and discipline. And I think I know why. It's because of a movie. It's because of one movie. Suddenly persons are thinking, wait a minute. But it existed long before that movie. Because the guy's life was based on things that were actually happening.
Yeah.
Right? But those things existed before. If you go back to Roman times,
yeah,
bondage and discipline was part of the sexual act in those days. Same-sex relationship was part of the sexual act in them days. Don't feel that same-sex relationship, man with man, woman with woman, is something new, you know. And I tell persons, if you don't believe me, go and look at the ancient carvings of the temples in India, in southern India. And you'll see every sexual scenario that you could think about on those walls. Anything you could think about. One man with five women, five men with one, you name it, everything. Anything you could think about, it's there. We only see certain pictures.
Yeah.
But there are thousands of these carvings on these temples. It existed long before we even start thinking about documenting sex. So it was carved out, it was drawn or whatever. But it existed. It's only because we want to control. And lots of time the persons in our society who are the leaders, they want to control the flock, you know. The only way you could lead politically and otherwise is when you have control over people, you know. I make no apologies for saying that. Persons who have a congregation wants to control. They want to control their congregation. So they will tell them things to put fear in them. First of all, put fear in them. If you do this, this will happen to you. But only I could redeem you. Only I could help you. They forget to tell you that they're speaking from a higher force. You know, it's only I know best. And this is where the problem comes in. That's why when I put out things out there, I don't tell them about me or I putting that out there. The information is there. I'm giving you the information for you to decipher for yourself. You're big and you have sense.
It's up to you.
You're big and you have sense.
Yeah.
Figure it out for yourself. So when somebody writes in a book, it is illegal to give a blowjob. It's a law. It's illegal to give a blowjob. Well, they wouldn't say blowjob. What they call fellatio. But tell me which man don't enjoy that. The only man who don't enjoy that is who never get it.
Well, who do have...
Say it.
Yeah.
Pleasant good evening, Michelle and Jenny. No, but it's a factual thing. You have to go with what is reality.
Well, yeah,
and it's not something that was invented when porn came into existence. Sexual act and things of a sexual nature is nothing new. There is nothing new when it comes to sex under the sun. There's a new way of disseminating the information. There's no new way of persons seeing those things or hearing about it. 20 years ago, nobody would ever hear about a blowjob on radio. You're mad?
No, if somebody heard something about a blowjob, they say, well, you come to cut the grass today?
No, on radio, think about it. Nobody hearing that word.
No.
Well, right. But that was 20 years ago. This is 20 years down the line. And we openly talk about it. It's not that we started talking about it this year.
No. We'll be here 17 years already.
Right. So we've been talking about it for a long time.
Almost my age.
There you go again.
No.
Tell him that is in pounds now.
No. Then Guyanese money.
So when you think about things that are sexual, and we want to have all these controls of people, we will tell them that something is nasty and something is dirty and something is a sin, and we use all these words. A simple thing as masturbation, which is natural for children to do. And I go back to the fact of scientifically it has been proven that the fetus in the womb will masturbate. So if it is a sin and the fetus is born as a child and a child comes into the world without sin, supposedly, isn't that committing a sin in the womb?
Yes.
Well, right, that is logic. I tell people, think with logic. I don't know, I'm not God. I don't know. I don't believe in sin to begin with, because in my belief system, there's no such thing as sin. You do good or you do bad. Right? That's how I know the law of karma. And law of karma does not embrace sin. So when I hear Hindus using the word sin, I look at them differently. You don't understand your own religion. We don't have sin. You don't commit a sin. You do right and you do wrong. And you pay for your wrong. Full stop. And you could do things to erase your wrongs. But we have no judgment. Again, there's no judgment of the soul. And that is the Hindu religion. That is the basis of the Hindu religion. That is the basis of Sanatana Dharma. There is no judgment. Your soul is not judged.
Okay.
And if you take it in steps, you'll understand that if you have sin, yes, you'll have judgment. Because you have to say, well, this person real do bad, so you have to be punished and you have a heaven and a hell to go to. We don't have that. It does not exist in our philosophy. And this is where, when you take Christianity and put it into the Western text, the Western world, and you make a pilau, which is what we live in. We live in a pilau in Trinidad. So a lot of the leaders will use the word sin and they will use it loosely when they should know better than to use that word. I don't use that word at all, you know.
No?
Nah. With my friends, Lyman talking, I don't use that word. I will use it in a lecture to let people know that it does not exist in my philosophy. So I cannot commit a sin.
Right, yeah.
So if somebody say, boy, what you're doing is a sin, I was like, what? What the hell is that? That doesn't exist in my vocabulary. There's no such thing for me. There is good and there is bad. Light cannot exist without darkness. Good cannot exist without evil or bad. That is the basis of the world, right? I'm not here to talk about religion, but I'm telling you about the sexual side of it. So when one person who does not engage in something that is sexual, does that make that person more righteous than the person who engages in something that is sexual to them, that is more fulfilling sexually to them? That's why when we want to judge people and say, well, he does do this, and she does do that, so that makes them less of a person when they do that. That makes them someone who is going to be in a sinful world. What it does. Of course you have morals and you have ethics and you have all these things. But despite the fact that you had those things, and despite the fact that those things existed in ancient times, and we're going back to Roman times, well, laws were being made, because before that there was no laws and whatnot. Right? And the Greeks and the Romans, we give them that. Although some of them went to India to study. Aristotle and those persons went to India to study. But of course, they debar us from learning those things because they didn't want to show that India was so great. They didn't want to. I was watching an Indian movie recently, and I haven't seen a movie in years, and these guys were living in England. And of course, they're living in England and they live in large. And this one guy came from India to England, and he went to this club. And he was talking highly of India. But in those days, India was really a poor country. In the 70s, we're talking about. India was in real turmoil. And the guy turned to him and he said, why are you talking about India like that? India is zero. India has nothing. It is zero. And then he turns to the man and tells him, he said, well, if India didn't invent the zero, you would have nothing in the world. Mathematics wouldn't exist. And if India did not invent the decimal point, they couldn't go to the moon, because the guy was boasting that in the society he lived, they went to the moon.
Okay. Yeah.
He said if India didn't invent that, they couldn't go to the moon. And he started to show him all the things that India invented. And the guy had to hush his mouth. Well, he had to shut his mouth.
Anyway, folks, taking your time, it's now 8 minutes after 10 o'clock. You are on the inside of Sexplosion on Pound 2.1 FM. With your host, Dr. Raj Ramnanan, now Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center out at St. Augustine. And folks, our lines are open for those of you who would love to interact with him. Maybe you have something bothering you that you would love to challenge him on as far as we are getting an answer. Feel free to 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you are sending him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile 7401961. May I remind you that this program may contain material that is not suitable for children. Parental guidance, therefore advised. Yeah.
I was going to say hi to Maya. I know who this Maya is, don't worry.
Okay. Yeah?
Naima, my old schoolmate from primary school. Good evening.
Schoolmate?
Yes, schoolmate from primary school. Yes, so getting back to...
No, before getting back, let's go to the lines here for a second. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Hello.
Hi, good evening. Could you pull the volume down on your radio for us and listen to us on the phone? Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, family.
No, but that's why I tell you, education is not... When people hear the word Sexplosion, and that's why I named this program Sexplosion, you know. A lot of persons, they don't understand why I created that name Sexplosion. It's to blow the myth out of sex. It's an explosion, sexplosion, sex explosion. There are many things that are related to sex that a lot of persons don't understand, or they don't see the correlation between one and the other. But human life exists because of sex.
You see, the thing about it is that as soon as you mention the word sex, the first thing that runs into some people's mind, nasty.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
Well, also I was going to tell you that India gave the whole astronomy and astrology. Because everything in Hindu philosophy has to do with the moon and the stars and those things. You know?
Yeah.
Everything, you know. Every single thing we do has to do with that, you know. But what happened? There were invaders, like the Arab invaders went into India and they took the information and they came out with the Arabic numerals. It's called the Arabic numerals, but it was stolen from India. Full stop.
Okay.
It was stolen from there. But India is such a country that they don't lay claims to those things. They leave it, that's what they give to the world. Full stop. And nobody could dispute that. Aristotle went there and got his philosophy and taught the world. India knew the world was wrong long before 5,000 years ago. 5,000 years ago, they could have told the world was wrong. So, but that is no big deal. They don't go out and beat their chest and tell them about gravity and all that kind of thing.
That was just history.
But it's just part of living and life. So it's the same thing with things that are sexual. When we talk about the Kama Sutra, people think Kama Sutra is about positions. Kama Sutra came from the beginning of time, you know. Wow. From the beginning of time, when Nandi the bull, which is the means of transportation of Lord Shiva, overheard Lord Shiva telling Parvati, or relating to Parvati, the Kama Sutra. And he gave that to man. So that information came down through time. And we talk about time immemorial. Since the beginning of time. So that's why I tell you, when persons want to tell me about, boy, what you're doing there is sinful, I think I watch them and laugh because it does not exist in my vocabulary. And I'll tell you how I get that information. One, because of who I am. I research. I look at things. I look at it from different angles. Two, I absorb information. I go to yajnas and whatnot, and I go to listen. And many a times, I see the mistakes that the men who are sitting on the singhasan make with their words that they're using, or their choice of words. But I understand the audience that they're speaking to.
Oh, okay.
And then I also read. I read and read and read and explore and go deep into whatever I am reading. So when I talk about what I talk about it from many different angles that it is funneled into information to me.
And you know what you're speaking about.
I always know what I'm speaking about. I don't make skylark with that. I don't make skylark with that. I take my information very seriously and I do the research to back it up. Because at the end of the day, there's always someone out there who wants to challenge you, and I don't want them to challenge. I want you to debate with me. I want you to debate with me, because when you bring up a point, I will bring it up from a different perspective or from a philosophical point and show it to you.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, it's now 14 minutes after 10 o'clock. Sexplosion on Pound 2.1 FM with your host, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center of St. Augustine. And he do treats all sexual dysfunction. So if you are experiencing something sexual that might be bothering you or you're not sure about, give him a call at the Adult Therapy Center. We'll tell you what we are going to do is take a break, and we would be right back with
Kyle.
you. Stay tuned.
My nephew is on, Kyle.
Oh, Kyle is on.
I'll be back. You want me to hold your hand and carry you? You sure?
But like it's all how we going. That's why I take a break.
Readjust your priorities and refocus your vision. It's now. Join Pastor Wayne Sanson on the Vision for Vision program every Monday from 5 to 6 a.m. right here on Power 102 FM. Jesus is the only one who can give you peace in the midst of today's storm.
Trinidad and Tobago, we're ready, standing united, and moving forward as one. So let's do this. Let's do this. With Sharma Wilson, Saturdays from 7 to 9 a.m. We're one people, one nation, and all in this together. We are all in this together. Let's do this with Sharma Wilson from 7 to 9 a.m. every Saturday morning on radio you can watch. Power 102, empowering you. Now, wherever you are in Trinidad and Tobago or the world, the power of Power 102 FM is in your hand. Download the free Power 102 FM app on your iPhone or Android today. It's power to go.
Power up your Saturdays on Power 102 FM.
Yo, this is Marshall Montana on Power 102 FM.
With the best music and personalities to power your day. All day on a Saturday. Sir Charles, Chris, DJ Maggie, Gaylan, and the ultimate DJ Shane.
This is Capri, and you're listening to Power 102.
Power up your Saturdays on Power 102 FM. The power of music. Power up Saturdays from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. all day on a Saturday on Power 102. Empowering you.
The Reggae Ride, each and every Saturday from 6 to 10 p.m. on radio you can watch. Power 102, empowering you. With the Empress Gaylan and the ultimate DJ Shane. Join us for some soothing reggae music on a Saturday. The Reggae Ride. The Reggae Ride, each and every Saturday from 6 to 10 p.m. On radio you can watch Power 102.
You find it?
Empowering
You find it?
Yeah, stop it.
No.
Join Dr. Morgan Joe every Sunday from
It's too big?
1 p.m. for
I
reality.
thought it was too small.
We focus on what must be done to flush out the fluff in your mind. The enemy
You
of
know-
all people is ourselves. Our racism
You
and
know-
ignorance. We work to
You going through.
eradicate the
I heard that.
rubbish in
I
our
heard that,
heads, our irresponsibility.
I heard that
love of
Wednesday.
It was on the news.
Dr. Morgan Joe
Newspaper.
Sundays from
Which one?
1 p.m.
One of the Guardian, one of the
Radio
Guardian. They have a
you
full
can
story.
watch. Power 102,
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
empowering you.
Sexplosion.
Wednesdays and Fridays from 9 p.m. on Power 102, empowering you.
Sexplosion.
With the Dr.
Bugs walking.
Dr. Raj.
Hi, this is Dr. Raj. I am on Power 102 with Sexplosion and the Angel.
Kind of harsh, though.
Excited once again.
I say kind of harsh, though.
With the angels.
Wednesdays and Fridays.
You must listen to yourself talk sometimes.
Power 102.
Must listen to yourself talk
When?
sometimes.
Well, I can tell you that when it comes to sex education, we are always one step ahead. You're listening to Sexplosion on this Friday evening with your host, Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center out at St. Augustine. And there he treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. However, if you would love to interact with him via the telephone, you can do so right now by simply giving him a call at 222-8255, also at 612-8255. You're listening to a program that's informative, educational, and of course entertaining, exclusively on Power 102 FM. Yeah.
Kyle, what's the name of your friend who listens to the program, the guy who sings? Let me say hello to him so he will know that you are my nephew. Jilly, good night. Nadine, Satish, Cherrybud 23. Yes. So what I was telling you about is it's not something that is made up, and I dislike when people use the word mythology, especially on ancient aliens and those programs and whatnot. It is not a myth. What we have is real, very, very real, documented. And it could be proven. Every single thing could be proven. And this is where the problem comes in, that the ordinary mind cannot wrap itself around that. Huh? When they talk about, nobody ever yet could lay claim on who invented sex. And we'll tell you plain and as it is, Lord Shiva is the inventor of sex. His symbol is the sex symbol. He is the inventor of sex, and that is where all that information came down. So the things that you're doing, Avinash Maharaj, right? Pleasant good evening to Avinash Maharaj. And yes, Kyle is my nephew. And we do spend a lot of wonderful time together, especially at camp. So when you hear person talk about things, now there are persons who are afraid or ashamed to talk about it because they don't have the knowledge. And because they don't have the knowledge, when somebody asks them a question, they don't know how to respond to the question. So they may get angry or they may get defensive. And when you get defensive, your information comes out in an angry way. But if you know your information, you could tell that person, this is the information. The first thing the person will tell you, well, who tell you that? How do you know that? But the fact remains that that is factual. That is the information. So now I listen to other programs on Power 102, and there are a lot of factual information that comes from this radio station. Yeah.
Oh.
When you listen to two persons from opposing point of view giving you information, there's some of it is bias, of course, because they have an agenda, a political agenda. You hear it. But if you remove that and you listen to the information that the persons give on this program, on programs on this station, you will realize that this is one of the stations that give you all the information about things in general from morning to night. You get that here. And this station does not push a one particular agenda, or despite what people may think. Because I would not have been here for all the time that I've been here. It is about educating the public. It is about giving information. It is about letting persons have that information and they make a decision about what they want to do.
But as we always get people telling us that if they had this program
when they were young,
when they were 25 years ago, they wouldn't have been in the present position that they
correct
now. So
but the point is that we have a responsibility also. So that's why I tell you, when we talk about things that on the statute books that are illegal, but if there are persons engaging in it, and we have to understand that also. We cannot lock away a part of society or condemn a part of a certain segment of society because of something that was written 200 and 300. And it was one person, I remember I told you I went to a meeting and a guy told me a law was since time immemorial, and the law came out in 1936. I tell him, I say, you don't understand what time immemorial means. That is not since time immemorial. That is when somebody wrote the law. And they would have taken information from elsewhere or whatever. Somebody wake up one morning and long ago, a king would wake up in the morning and pass a law, you know.
Just like that.
Let me say you get enough sex in the night.
Yeah, just like that.
You might pass a law.
Yeah, you might say instead of 5
rounds, let me get.
No, instead of 5 ladies, I want 15.
You pass a law.
Yeah.
That's how it was done.
What country is that, boy? Yeah.
Okay, let me give you an example. You know, in France, if you are arrested, you have to prove you're innocent. You know, you're guilty until proven innocent. You know.
So as soon as they put the cuffs on you,
as soon as they come for you, you're guilty. It have nothing like you're not guilty. You have to prove your innocence. When it's the other way around, in our society,
right.
You're innocent until proven guilty. Holland and those places, when they hold you, that's it. You're guilty. You have to prove your innocence now. So it's different laws in different places. I remember when the VP of India came here in 1994, I think, or somewhere around there. He said the Supreme Court in India is supreme. There's no other court. What law? You see, Salman Khan gets 5 years jail for shooting 2 deer.
Yeah.
You kill to protect the animal. You spend. It doesn't matter who you are. Go to jail.
Oh dear, that was sad for the animals.
For the animal, yeah, not sad for him. But who tell you shoot the animal? No, I like him as an actor. I love his movies. But if you kill 2 deer and it is protected animals, put them in jail. I wish they do that in Trinidad.
Yeah,
all them fellas who selling gun and thing all over the place, lock their tail up.
Hey, yeah, I saw a pic somebody posted.
No, lock them up. I have no compassion for them. I have compassion for the animal.
Yeah, it is sad. Yeah, and as a matter, and the latest one here now on Facebook, they have this guy sitting on a turtle. But here now, when I tell you, probably this was so ridiculous. And taking a selfie.
Standing on them as well.
But that's how ridiculous we are as human beings. We do things like that and think it's fun. Right? That is why the law of karma is the best law there is. Somebody is going to stand on his back one day and he would not be able to move and he'll wonder why. And he will wonder why. He may not even remember that he did that to a turtle. And that's serious, you know. You don't have to die and come back for that to happen, you know. That happening before he dies. Before. The same way them fellas are tying up them gun and whatnot and selling them. One day somebody will tie up one of them in the bush. That's the law of karma.
Yes, unbelievable.
The things that we do, the evil things that we do for fun, thinking it is fun, against the animals that we are supposed to protect, against the things that we are supposed to protect, will come back and haunt you. So getting back to our topic now, when you're dealing with things, same thing with sex. If I, based on what I like, I go and force her to do it, I'm committing a wrong act. It must be consensual between the two persons that this is what we're doing. That's why I tell persons when they're going to engage in BND and S&M and whatnot, have a safe word. And the minute the person uses the safe word, whatever the word may be, let's say the word remote. By the time you hear that word, stop whatever it is you're doing. Stop. Do not continue. And it's a discipline within yourself.
Oh, yeah.
It's not an easy thing to do, you know.
No.
I'm telling you, it's not an easy thing to do, because when you're in the heat of the moment, let's say, for example, you're flogging someone, using a flogger. There's something called a flogger. And you're on a dumb stroke and the person use the word remote. You have to stop your wrist from doing this, you know. Yeah, because you're already on the flick. And you have to stop right here. You have to. Because you do not want to betray the trust of the individual.
Yeah, because if something goes wrong...
If you betray that trust, when it is decided that these are the things that we're going to do, but this is my safe word, that person will not trust you to do something again, because you betrayed the trust.
Well, yeah, you break the...
It's the same thing when you know what trust it takes for you to let somebody put a handcuff on you and blindfold you? You know what trust it takes to do that?
Hey, Yeah.
But in sexual scenario, that is what happens. So everybody has...
They were me different, I want to see.
I train people for that, and we do that all the time, so...
Yeah.
She asked the question, do you think Trini people have that discipline? Of course. We are in disciplined society, but there are lots of individuals, they would do the right things in the right place, at the right time. They would do it. I have found, this is not today I'm doing this, 25 years now public. 25 years now public. And another 10 years privately. What happens is that a lot of times persons who are engaging in something do not have the knowledge about it. They know it's something they want to do because it's something they see, so it stimulates them. But they don't have the knowledge, the vast knowledge, or the inclination to know what to do. So they move from point A to point Z without going through A, B, C, D, E, F, G down the line. They want to get the end result as quickly as possible. It's like you meet a woman. You meet her in a dance or in a bar. And you hoping, boy, before the night finish, I have to get in this woman panties. You care to do STD testing. You care nothing. You just want to get in her, to have sex with her. So you're moving from point A to point Z without thinking about anything in between. And 2 days after, I come in by Dr. Raj and say, well, I had sex with this woman and I'm feeling that itching down there. And oh God, it's all in your mind, eh? It's all in your mind because it's gestation period and all that. So you listen to the person saying, so you think you have a STD? So you get in 2 days' time. Okay, go do a test. Come back, everything negative. I said, no, it's not the time to do the test. Wait a month. So they say, I have to suffer for a month. I say, yes. Use the one who decide to have sex with the woman without a condom. So you'll suffer for a month.
Sad situation.
But we think with our penis as opposed to with our heads.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah, once
we are moving is the same thing with the training, with doing these things. Bondage and discipline takes a certain... Okay, for example, bondage. The true type of bondage, Japanese bondage and whatnot, where you use different knots and whatnot to tie the person up. You could tie a person and tie she in a way that it looks like a dress, Like if she have on a dress, it's just that she can't move. But you have to know your nuts. According to a guy today, he said, I was never a Boy Scout. I said, thank God I was one.
No, you got to know your nuts. If you don't know your nuts, no, but you see this every day, more or less.
You're talking about a man and his nuts.
No,
I'm talking about nuts. Tying a nut. Could you tie a square nut? A reef nut? A clowfish? You see, you don't even know what I'm talking about.
No, I think it's something.
No, those are all different types of nut. So if you were a Boy Scout, you'll know your nuts. That's the first thing you'll learn. How to tie your nuts.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Shibari art. Oh, you know a lot, girl. So, when you engage in something that you don't know the background of it, it's the same thing when I hear people talking about Kama Sutra. A Kama Sutra pose, the helicopter. You remember a time a person called the program and talk, I said, that's not in the Kama Sutra. Where the hell you get that from?
Yeah.
I told the person that, I said, that is not there. It's not described in the Kama Sutra nowhere. As a matter of fact, in the Kama Sutra, there's only half of a paragraph dedicated to sexual positions. Anybody who have read the Kama Sutra will tell you that is true.
Only half?
Only half of a paragraph. A chapter, sorry. Half of a chapter. That is dedicated towards... no, I'm not a rigger. I wish I was a rigger. Well, I haven't practiced my nuts in a long time.
Yeah?
So when I'm practicing, when I'm teaching, now I have a lot of persons who are learning to do bondage and discipline. And when we're doing it, I have to teach them what nut, slip knot there. Now you must tie certain nuts with a slip knot. So you as the person who is doing it to the person could easily get the person out of that. Without, okay, for example, there are handcuffs and there are handcuffs. There are certain handcuffs you can't get out of it. You could do what you want. You could be Houdini, you're getting out of that. And there are handcuffs that you could get out of it if you know what to do. So in the training, that is part of the training.
Oh, okay. But I can't get some training, Roy.
once you like that. Now I tell person, sometimes in the training they want me to do the discipline part. I really don't get any pleasure out of it. I used to when I used to ride with certain people, because they were heavy into that. This was when I was about 17, 18 years of age, and I was heavily into S&M because the persons I were with, they were heavily into it. They were German girls, so they loved that.
Yeah, but them Germans and them.
They love that.
Yeah, that's why they always win World Cup. They're good with their balls. No, they're good. They're excellent. Anyway, folks, taking your time, it's now 28 minutes before 11 o'clock, and you are on the inside of Sexplosion on Power, the 2.1 FM, on this Friday evening with your host, Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center out at St. Augustine. Yeah.
So, when the first thing I tell them is, you have to learn the discipline. And the discipline comes about, if you can't go from point A to point Z, or Z, without going through all the rudiments of it. So you start. You have to understand what the person will like. For example, if you're doing spanking, you don't spank the same spot all the time. You start, let's say, hit the left cheek, you must hit the right cheek. You have to even it out. The body is like that. Because one side will start to burn and it will become uncomfortable. If you keep hitting the same place all the time, it's like somebody massaging you and they're rubbing the same spot. They're massaging the same spot all the time. Doesn't it irritate you after a while?
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing with spanking.
You feel like your skin coming out.
You're right. It's the same thing with spanking. If you want it to be pleasurable, there are different areas of the body that will be pleasurable. The shoulders, the middle of the back, the lower back, the buttocks, back of the legs, the calf, under the feet. But you got to know what you're doing, and you have to look at the response, and you have to listen. That's the other thing you have to do. You have to have that capacity to hear the sound that is being made and the sound that is coming from the individual. Bondage and discipline is the lower step of sadism and masochism, S&M. Sadism and masochism is one person is sadistic, they want to inflict pain, and the other person wants to receive the pain. Masochism. Right? A masochistic person. But when you're dealing with bondage and discipline, there are different levels of bondage and discipline. There's bondage where you could tie up a person when you're going to have sex with them, or restrain them in a particular way so that they could only remain in a particular position. And that could be pleasurable for the woman and could be pleasurable for the man. But the more you do, and the more you open up the capacity of the person, and the person is responding to that, and he or she realizes that this thing is doing something to me sexually, the more you want to expand. The more you will want to expand. And you only expand what you're doing when you have gone through the first step and master that. Then you go to the next step, and then you go to the next step, and then you go to the next step. Some person wear masks. Some person wear hoods.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because if it's something that two parties are doing and it's something that you're going to enjoy because that is your thing, excuse me, what is the reason for using a mask?
I'm glad you asked that question. The minute a woman puts on a mask, she's a different person, psychologically.
Well,
the minute she puts on a sexy outfit, she's a different woman. The minute she puts on leather boots with heels and has a riding crop in her hand, she's a different woman. If you want your woman to be 10 different women, dress her up in 10 different ways and you will see 10 different women. That's what it does. It's a psychological effect. Sex starts in the brain. That type of sexual encounter starts in the brain. The woman, when she puts on that mask, there's a... Take that call.
Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, is this the station?
Hello?
Is this the station?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah, good night, everyone there.
Good evening.
I'm trying to get some information, factual information. This thing that they call icing glass, does that really enhance the food quality? And,
yes, it does.
And how does one use it to be
You take a bit of it, and there's something called gummet dragon also. You can use both of them together. You boil it in water, and you could add it to any one of your drinks. Well, of course not alcohol. You can add it to like sea moss or anything like that. It thickens your drink, and you use it. That's the way you use it. But it depends on. It depends on your age and your sperm count.
Okay, but now these containers are very small. They have them in some little $20 size containers that are finished quickly.
Yeah, it does finish quickly because if you go to buy a large amount of it, you might overdo it. So you just take a pinch of it. It's like, you know there's something called saffron thread?
No.
Okay, what some Hindu people or Indian people is called saffron is not really saffron. There's something called saffron thread. They use it in exotic cooking. And when you're using saffron thread, it's just 2 or 3 threads you put in the food. It's the same thing with the isinglass. It's the same thing with the gummet dragon. Just a pinch of it goes a long way. I don't know what size container they sell it at because I haven't bought that in a long time.
It's about 2 inches tall, about an inch and a half diameter size.
2 inches tall. Take about 1/8. Take about
by about an inch and a half diameter.
Well, right, but take about 1/8 of it.
1/8, okay.
Yeah, about 1/8 of it. That is not a scientific reason.
Now, I was also told that it's good for to help with the nerves. You have problems with your nerves. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I've heard that also.
But is it true?
I know about the sexual side of it. I really don't know about that part of it. So I wouldn't say, but I've heard that also.
Okay then, thanks very much. You have a blessed night.
Yeah, you're welcome, sir.
Well, thanks a lot for calling, and for those of you who would love to interact with your host, Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center, feel free. 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you are sending him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile 740-1961. Yeah.
I notice you asked me not now about my t-shirt, eh? What's your name, eh? Yeah. What's your name? Where, little?
When they play?
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow
is the start of IPL. I bought this last year for 699 rupees. You know what that is in TT?
No.
Make a guess. How much for a sports shirt?
$120.
$60.
$60?
Yeah, rupees. Things in India are real cheap, you know.
Order a couple for me.
Things in India are real cheap, you know. You wouldn't believe how cheap things are. Take that call.
No, that's all. So your team playing tomorrow?
No, it was blinking. One was blinking.
No.
The left one was blinking.
Okay, we'll come back again. It's always good to come again anyhow. The first time when you miss.
Yeah, so my team is defending their title tomorrow, starting tomorrow, playing CSK.
What West Indian they are playing on that
Pollard and Lewis playing on this team.
And our friend, our good buddy.
Nah, he get picked this year.
He ain't get picked?
No, not yet. They'll send for him. Don't worry, they'll send for him.
Mm-hmm.
They'll send for him.
Yeah, so it's okay.
So get him back. Yes, it came back. I told you that.
Hello, welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, Raj. Good evening, Junior.
Hey, family.
Where's Angel?
Hi, good night.
Is Angel there?
Yeah.
She just said good night.
She just answered you.
Can I hear her?
Hi, good night.
Okay, hi, Angel. My name is Jude.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Just called to say good night to you.
Oh, very nice of you.
How do you show love? Like you meet someone, like you're eating in a restaurant or something, he's sitting there waiting on, and he's just looking at you now. How do you show that sort of, the thing? A sort of love? How do you show that?
Who you directed that at? The angel or me?
Yeah, the angel.
How do you show love?
Yeah.
How do you show love? You want to know how you show love?
I think she's shy.
No, she is shy.
No?
Hi. That's really good. I've been listening to this program since 17 years of it on.
17
Yeah, 17 years. We into our 18th year this month.
Yeah.
I learned a lot. It's a nice program.
Beautiful.
And everything is it's all well and good. It's all well and good.
Thank you.
Nice for some. Okay, and thanks a lot for supporting the program.
Bye, Angel.
Hi.
Yeah, family. Yeah.
That person know you.
Really.
Wait.
The guy, I feel so. The guy sounds.
Yeah, you look like you're looking for love. You're looking for love.
Yeah.
So when we talk about things are part of the mind, it starts there. You have to conjure it up in your mind. And then you have to find ways to explore it. If your partner is not willing, wouldn't you seek out someone else? I know a lot of persons who are into, well, some person will say deviant or perverted sexual acts. For example, bondage and discipline. But that is what the person likes. So what are you going to do? Condemn that person for what they like? If I like to be spanked, and my spouse don't want to spank me, I have to find it somewhere else.
You can look somewhere else.
And that's what Total Image is all about. We provide those things for people. There are persons who like water sport. Someone urinating on them. They may not get it from their spouse or their partner, but they could get it from us.
If you think you can only get water from one side, you'll lie. Anyway,
so wait, I wanted to finish that point. So when the individual starts with whatever they're doing sexually, and the more you do of it, the more you want to do it. And then you realize your true potential, right? Your true potential in your behavior, sexual behavior. What are your views on that poly relationship? I have no problem with that. I think everybody should do that.
What's that?
Having partners for different things. Because you can't get that satisfaction from one person. It's difficult. It's very, very difficult, especially if you are a sexual being. There are lots of individuals, as I tell you, they'll be married to one person, or they have one boyfriend or one girlfriend for the rest of their life, and that's it. That's fine for them. If that works for them, that's okay. There are individuals who cannot live like that.
No,
they can't.
That's what they said in the Calypso a couple of years ago. I know you.
Somebody looking for something under Raj Ragunanan. My name is Raj Ramnanan, Giriraj Ramnanan. So that alone should tell you. You don't know me. So what's...
Right choice, wrong view.
And that's the problem we have. Persons, they don't take into consideration. For example, I've been on the air 17 years, and there are a lot of people out there who don't know my name, you know. And I call my name all the time.
Yeah.
And they don't know my name. I find that disrespect. If I'm listening to somebody for a year, I will know their proper name, and I will know how to address them. But this is Trinidad.
Well, it's TNT, eh?
Raj Ragunanan.
Ragunanan. Hey,
don't let me start a cuss and get on it. I don't like nobody get my name wrong, you know.
But
I find that, and that's total disrespect. Total disrespect. Yes, play partners are part of what you have to do. You have to, if you want to know your true potential, you must find that person who can bring that out in you and allow you to develop that. You have to. Otherwise, you're going to stifle yourself. Man, know thyself. Know who you are. Know what you are capable of doing. Know the level of intimacy and the level of bliss, sexual bliss that you can attain. I'm not saying that everything is based on sex, you know.
Yeah.
But you know why kings used to have concubines and they used to have harems and whatnot? A king should never be starving for sex. Because a man who is starved for sex or starved for the things that he enjoys will make wrong decisions. And that was one of the main reasons.
So they make sure he
make sure he fix.
They make sure he fix.
When he wake up in the morning, he give it the right decision right too. He ain't going out there frustrated. He's not going out there saying, oh God, I break last night. Hang him.
Why I couldn't be a king, boy? Damn.
But you could be a king in your own right.
Yeah, you could be. Many a time. Anyway, folks, taking 14 minutes before 11 o'clock. Sexplosion, Power 102.1 FM. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned. We're going until 12?
Why?
No, that's Axe now.
She here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I see WP is on.
Hey.
How come you didn't ask me about WP?
Yes, I would, but I was waiting until after 11, man.
Go ahead. Wait, you want me to sell it to you? I have you suffering. Hey, hear this stuff, boy.
I'll see.
You see, I feel it cool and you even say take some.
No?
Okay, take some.
Moving forward as one. So
I haven't taken one.
let's do this with Sharma Wilson, Saturdays from 7 to 9 a.m. We're one people, one nation, and all in this together.
Hey, Auntie.
With Sharma Wilson.
My aunt is on, Auntie Doolin.
Auntie.
Dem Samaru, Indira, you're back on. Rishi, Anil, Hyacinth,
Now, wherever you are in
Luna.
Trinidad and Tobago, all the world.
If I see one of them stars named a child Luna, could you imagine if she wired somebody named Tick? This is Miss Lunatic. Not you. Lord, but hey, she just take everything personal.
I noticed
everything,
that.
you know.
I noticed that.
Why you so?
I noticed that.
You just take everything personal. Nobody is talking about you. I'm saying as an introduction.
Well, when you start talking about man, just ignore it, right?
I'll just say Buju.
Whatever.
Then you know it's you.
Whatever.
This is Capri and you're listening to Power 102.
Your Saturdays on Power 102 FM.
Candy, I thought you were on all the time. Sherrybud, what book you want to write, girl? Somebody attempted to write a book about me and she gave up, you know. I know why. She said the information was too much. Seriously, you know. She couldn't handle the information. She was blown away. I think she was too conservative to attempt something like that.
Join us for some soothing reggae music on a Saturday. The Reggae Ride. The Reggae Ride. Each and every Saturday from 6 to 10.
You ain't believe how cheap things is in India.
On radio, you can watch Power 102, empowering you. You can't stop it.
This had to stick so long to come out, eh?
Join Dr. Morgan Joe.
Well, it's cut off.
And for the top, and
Reality check.
They could cut off a few seconds off the
a
top.
few seconds and
Yeah.
the other way.
They could do that.
You can almost paint a room before you start.
Racism and ignorance. We work to eradicate the rubbish in our heads, our irresponsibility, our love of mediocrity.
And the
Reality
fluff.
check with Dr. Morgan Joe. Sundays from 1 p.m. on radio you can watch.
Oh, you're going to flower?
102, empowering you. Wednesdays and Fridays from 9 p.m.
You know, if I ask somebody the date and they give me the name, I write them off here.
Eh?
Yeah. I find that rude.
Doctor of Sex, Dr. Raj.
Hi, this is Dr. Raj. I am on board.
Once you don't give me a name, I don't know who I'm talking to. No, yeah. No, I said no, not no, I don't.
11 p.m. on Power 102, empowering you.
Well, I can tell you that you're making radio an experience by itself when you're on the inside of Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM. Now, for those of you who are listening to Sexplosion for the very first time, every Wednesday and Friday from 9 p.m. exclusively on Power 2.1 FM. With your host, Dr. Raj Rananam of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center out at St. Augustine. Yeah.
UFO say he could tie any kind of knot. I am an open-minded trainee. When I visit, I want some people to practice. Oh, I could get you that. No problem. But anyway, back to, she wanted to do somebody. I have a good bit of people who will be willing to do that. Shibari.
Yeah, what you want?
That's Japanese art of tying.
I could do that.
No, that is Kung Fu.
Oh, well, it's close, huh?
No, it's not close.
No.
Japanese didn't invent Kung Fu.
Who did?
India.
Eh?
It went to China.
Mm-hmm.
When Bruce Lee said it to the world, they were shocked. But they stole it. It was in one of the Vedas.
Right.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, in China, there's one of the Vedas in China, and you can, if anybody looking like me cannot go on that floor, they don't allow you.
No?
Nope.
Okay. What about the Chinese and other thing, something that I think I'll try something.
The nunchuck was used to beat
right.
rice long time, you know. Then it became a weapon. They used to use that to beat rice. The nunchuck, yeah.
The one that
Yeah.
Bruce light up the screen with?
He said he could do it. I think somebody wanted to tie you up, Junior.
Somebody want to tie me up?
Junior will cry. Junior will cry.
No, well, it all depends, eh?
How they tie you?
It all depends.
When they sling it around your hoo-ha, hang it up.
No, well, if she nice.
Yeah, but Cherry Bud is a beautiful woman. What even if she nice? She's a beautiful woman. But what I'm saying is when they sling it around your, they just hold it so tight like that until they come all the way out here, you know.
You know, that's what reminds me of, you know, those balloons that they
Yeah,
have,
the big dog. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. But they keep pulling the balls and they do it, so they're wrapping it and they keep pushing it out. Yeah. The penis and the scrotum.
Yeah. Now this is what this is this is bondage, right?
Yeah, it's a type of bondage.
Tie up your.
And Candy says she wants somebody to tie her up. Ooh. Wait, Candy. I thought we arranged that for a day in the week. Huh?
She got tied up.
Yeah. And somebody else says she want to be there. I tell you, I just had to juggle some things some time. Oh my God! Hey, I just wonder, you know, Junior.
No, I know you can handle it. I know you can handle the juggling. I know for a fact you can handle it.
I am not a top. I just enjoy the art.
Oh, if that was a guy saying that, I don't enjoy the top, but I enjoy.
I don't know if she enjoy. Okay, all right. So anyway, getting back to bondage and discipline, and you see, you could take it on many roads, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I tell you, you have to trust someone.
Yeah, but this
beyond words for them to tie you up.
Yeah.
For them to put a handcuff on you.
Yeah.
For them to put foot cuffs on you. For them to put a leg spreader on you. You know what's a leg spreader?
No.
Right, Junior boy. You sure you're doing this program long time, right?
No, leg spreader.
It's a leg spreader. It's about 3 feet wide. It could be a piece of steel. It could be a piece of wood with 2 cuffs at the end. So just cuff it onto your leg and you can close it after that.
No, how do you expect me to know that either? I mean, use the sex on it.
50 Shades of Grey? You'd see everything. Watch all 3.
Eh? 50, eh?
And I will never look at that.
No.
You might like it.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I would never look at it.
Any particular reason behind that?
I don't know. I have no interest at looking at it. I don't think there's any.
That's why you have this sex doctor.
What about bondage with spanking? Randall, of course we supported the same team. We supported a winning team. Well, you know, Uncle Mole will support the same team too. So, seriously, you have to get into that. And well, your leg spread. So, do you like to keep your leg closed open? Well, I see kind of close up there.
Right now, I'm freezing. So.
I'll put a leg spread on you the next time.
Okay then.
And I'll do a tie. Tie it up here. You think I'm joking? Next week, bonding you to that chair. We can't move.
This chair?
This chair.
Right here?
Right here.
Bring it.
Wednesday.
Okay, bring it.
Right.
Right here, I want you to do it.
Is this the quiet one?
Yeah. So, what's going to happen to you?
Yeah. Wear pants or dress?
Dress. Pants. We want to see panty or you want to see crotch. You're asking a question like that?
Next thing you know, can I come with a pants with zip?
Oh, a leg spreader with gag.
But I never heard of something like that though.
I mean, there's a spider gag, one that keeps your mouth open. There's a ball gag that goes into your mouth and locks around here. In case the woman making too much noise and she talking too much now.
No,
And they want to silence she. Like somebody like she. You bring it Wednesday and you put it in she bottle, yeah. And she's something like that. Like when I pass through.
You know what you say.
And there's a tie that I could tie from here. Take it back to your feet. So if you only move your foot, you pull your neck. So you wouldn't do it. You know that. That is all part of bondage, you know.
Yeah, but...
And here she bring it. Bring it.
No, but, you know, I don't know, Maybe I am old-timerish, but I believe in the old. I cannot picture myself having sex with someone.
That is not sex.
So
You're not having sex.
What would you describe
that?
That
Is taking yourself into a different realm. It's a realm of trust. It's a realm of intimacy that is much deeper than sex. You could have sex with the person. You could have sex. Okay, let's say a person asks you to tie them up, handcuff them and spank them. You can't have sex with the person? Of course you could have sex with the person. But that's not your aim. The aim is to take the person to a height that is going to be mind-blowing. That is what it does. The person doing it does get a certain level of fun and excitement out of it. The person receiving it is the same thing with that person.
So
it is not penetrative sex. You're not penetrating the person at all. You could bring that person to orgasm without even touching the person sexually.
No, but I still like
You should have been to the show on the Thursday when we had one young lady who were bondage and disciplined. And she was dripping, she was just pouring. And it was nothing sexual at all. Absolutely nothing sexual in terms of having sex with the person. You're not sucking a nipple, you're not performing oral sex, you're not doing anything like that. So the person was pouring.
No, everybody have their different style and taste in sex, but that's not my thing. Yeah, that's not my thing.
What is your thing?
I like to be romantic.
Yes.
Yeah, but when I tell you, and then you're like, oh God, family, you're killing me.
No. It's not like that. It is not.
So basically what you're saying is that the two parties agreed.
Basically, you would know your partner. That is where you have to know your partner and what are the limitations and how far you could go with the person and your limitations.
Okay.
But that is built over a period of time. I cannot come and do bondage on her. For the first time, and I know nothing about her. I never tie her up before. So Wednesday it will be an experiment. But it will be done.
You know, she's watching and laughing, so I'm like saying, why could handle it? You know,
no, well, Wednesday. Well, we'll see about Wednesday.
I can just watch.
And when you are bonded and blindfolded and a hood is put on your head, we'll show the audience. Because they wouldn't believe it was done. So, they wouldn't see your face, but they'll see a well tie up.
No, well, you know what happening next week, Wednesday, she's going to say, I'm not feeling too well. I'm coughing.
Well, if it's not done Wednesday, it will be done Friday.
On Friday. Oh, okay.
You're starting to cough from now, but you're backing out. You're like a screw, you're backing out slowly.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, taking our time, it's now 11 o'clock in Trinidad and Tobago. You are on the inside of Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM with your host, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center out St. Augustine. Folks, our lines are open for those of you who would love to interact with the Dr. Raj. Feel free. Just simply dial 222-8255, also at 612-8255. Yeah.
Pleasant good evening to Reynolds from Das Hardware in Sangre Grande. Yes.
And who again we have there?
We have Leslie joined us, Varun, Makarut, of course, I know, Sabita, Candy. Well, Candy giving us a long, she wants spreader and bread and weather. I think she wants leather too. Oh, feather tickling. What about feather tickling? Using feathers to tickle a person.
Yeah, but if you come across someone who... Well, yeah.
Lisa asked if the cookout is still on. Yes, it is. You'll know about it soon. We'll be talking about it soon. I'm just waiting on certain things to be put in place. So yes, the cookout is on.
Family only hear food. She get bright.
Somebody asked me if I'm going home to eat food. Yes. I don't want to barbecue.
Vashti.
Current's room.
Curtis. And his name is Curtis Mattis.
Curtis what?
You know, is that Curtis Mattis? First color television took up to Trinidad.
Oh. Okay. Nice.
Kipalani brought that Curtis Mattis television.
The name sound familiar, but I can't place what
You
it
weren't in
was
Trinidad
all
when
about.
that came.
What
I'm
year
sure.
that was?
That came in Trinidad in the 70s. 70,
No,
I think about 70s.
I was out of here between 70 and 80.
Yeah, that came in 70s. Curtis Mattis. Yeah, so getting back to the bondage and this, somebody say yes, feather once you use your after. Okay, couldn't say that.
Why is a sex program?
It was addressed to you, you know.
No, don't really.
Yeah, it was addressed to you. So if you want me to say it, I can say it, you know.
No,
You still want me to say?
Let me skip that one.
Oh, let me skip that one, okay.
Yeah,
If I only had the ropes now, you're in trouble, you know. Silk rope.
Yeah.
You have to use silk rope. You're not using anything to cause pain and suffering.
No.
First thing we have to do is to gag you so you don't say nothing.
I could just picture her in...
What is the safe word?
Tied up.
She had no safe word after you gag her?
I could always picture her tied up. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah.
Kiki said it came out in 76.
76?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
But no, I wouldn't have get that.
Rosanna has joined us. Rosanna Rodriguez.
Is Sally is her name?
Who?
The one who used to call us all, or she used to clock in at 11 o'clock.
Cindy? No,
Cindy.
No. Yvonne.
Yvonne. Whatever became of Yvonne?
I don't know. I heard from her last week. But I don't know what happened.
But I haven't heard her interacting with us on the program for quite some time.
Somebody said the show making them horny.
Tell them suck orange.
That's why.
I don't think she wants to suck orange.
Oh, it's a lady. It's a lady.
No, I don't think she wants to suck orange. She wants Junior to come on down. She'll tie you up and spank you.
Is she real, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
She good at that, you know.
Eh, she good?
What?
I feel she only am out.
I would not dare her.
No, you know it?
No, I would not dare her.
Oh, so you know this person then?
I know her personally, of course. If I didn't know her, I wouldn't say anything.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Right. Family, you look like you're ready for the tie up. Yeah.
Nah, she'll be ready next week, Wednesday, and I'm bringing the right person to do it too, you know.
You are?
Are you sure we can?
You bringing the right person?
I'm bringing the right person.
No, but you would know.
Yes.
No.
Cherry Bud, welcome back. We just had a break in transmission. Licks like that. No licks. No licks. We're tying her up. We're just doing some bondage.
Again licks.
Huh? No licks yet. The licks will come after. We turn you over the table and tie your two hands over the side. You never watch a Western yet? They tie a man spreading blood on top of the table and is lashing the tail. I'll walk with, the long crop, the 5 feet crop, the one that's make the noise. Yeah. Why? You know why a whip does make noise in a Western movie and when they crack it? You know why it makes noise?
No.
When you ever see that in a Western where they crack the whip?
No, I haven't seen it in a Western, but I've seen it.
You've never seen that in a Western? What kind of Western you just watch?
I mean like no, yeah, but isn't it the same thing?
The
like
jab or the jab
how
yeah.
they use the
because it breaks the sound barrier. That's why you hear that noise. The speed at which it goes.
Oh, it breaks.
Break the sound barrier.
Oh, the sound barrier.
If he only know, he would run for his life. I want to run for your life. Come in the studio right here and deal with him.
You can't deal. You only out.
I wouldn't say that, Julia. Take that back. And Cherrybird says being bound is enough to get things going sometimes. That's true. It is. It could be foreplay. And it could be good foreplay also. Yes. You do that prior to having sex. There are different things you could do. Junior, you old school, So you're comfortable with the love making and the hugging up and whatnot. But when you get fed up of that, what are you going to do? Pelt one, okay. Ooh.
See, I get your sign language.
See, I got the sign language.
Sign language. Now I tell you.
But it's the things that you do. But I remember Cherrybird says, Junior, try it. Now Cherrybird is not here. She's far, far, far away, so she could talk from far, far away.
Oh, she's far away?
Yeah, I kind of figure out who it is now.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember once I was home doing something. I think I just had dinner. And I got a phone call. And this person who lives about a block from me wanted something done in terms of bondage and tickling and feathering and whatnot. So here I am putting together my kit. And my wife is looking at me and she's like, what are you doing there for? I said, coming back now. But she didn't see I take the car. I just walked on the road.
But at least you know it didn't go far, right?
Come back in 2 hours and she's like, you just didn't go and do that, right? I said, yeah. The person wanted it done. What do you want me to do?
Is that our friend on the block who I met once?
Nah, you never met this person. This person now lives in Honduras, so far, far away. Nah, you never met this person. Never. Never. That was that was before Sexplosion.
No, I don't
long
think,
before that.
Yeah, but I don't think it would have gone to this one anyhow because she was kind of mature.
What are you talking about, Wahid?
The lady who said she always listened to us and she liked to hear me. A neighbor who used to live just about.
Oh no! I don't know. I wasn't living there, Junior. Marlene, how are you? You didn't tell me exactly what happened, and I see you in hospital bed and all kind of thing. You know those things does affect me. So send me a private message on my phone, please.
She was on a private bed.
In a hospital bed.
But she was sick.
Something happened to her feet, to her foot. I'm not too sure what happened.
No.
So she'll tell me what happened.
Yeah. Sometimes when you use your foot or feet, that's not good.
Well, she got.
Yeah.
Maybe she was trying some bondage and it was a little too tight.
But this is what I was about.
Cherrybird says he will meet me when I visit. Here, meeting you first. I will have to meet you first. And then she'll invite you to tie your tail up.
He only talking.
Tie up like Sunday crab in the market. There's a special tie, you know.
Yeah.
You got to tie the gun in a particular way.
Yeah.
So you tie it up like that.
And because when
and if you don't tie the feet in the right way, it will walk up. You know. That's gone, you know.
Yeah, and you notice anytime you go in the market and you see crabs tied up, they always have their eyes out.
Yeah, they look at it.
They never have their eyes inside. They always looking and say, boy, you could buy me.
No, they're looking to tell you, boy, let me loose, please.
No, but these guys.
You ever catch crab? You ever break crab back?
No, I try. Okay. But as fast
don't make a mistake and put your finger in the gun, do you know? Even when they're dead, you know.
No, I know. No. But as far as I mash it, they skate out on the beach. They mash it, they run. Mash it, they run.
You mashing crab on the beach?
Yeah.
You never hold crab on the beach?
Hold? Might put my hand on that. Nah, he have two. I put in one hand. He must catch me. There's two gunnies they have, and I have one hand.
I know there's a way to hold it.
Yeah,
there's a way to hold it. No, not like that.
No.
Like on the way, had
like that. You try holding that crab like that.
Yeah, and you could always have
that crab that is.
Baby crab.
That baby crab.
No, crab. No.
No, there's another type of bondage. You know, there are different things that you could do. You know. There's some things I don't engage in it anymore. There's so many things I've done in my life. Sometimes I sit back and wonder.
But okay, but let me ask you, this bondage thing. Is it popular here? It is done.
It's becoming very popular. Very, very popular. I have had. We have a whole section on bondage stuff now.
Oh.
Yeah, whole section on bondage stuff. We have people ordering stuff for bondage, different restraints and different things. You could put bondage stuff under your mattress, not to hide it, where the cuffs comes up and you could everybody have to listen to all my programs and hear them. But you have different things that you can do. Simple thing, if you buy a bondage kit, a beginner's bondage kit come with handcuff, blindfold, and a spanker. That's it. A little whip. And the whip doesn't hit hard. That whip can really hit you hard. And we got some of those also. We have some heavy duty whip, we have some cat o' nine tail, we have, you name it, we have it. Riding crop, them that's hurt. And you don't know? Well, you go find out.
You freezing? It's just imagination. Just think warm. It's like when you're hungry and eating a cheese sandwich, you're thinking it's a steak.
Don't talk about food. Don't ever do that. You'll take this program down the wrong road. You making you don't know what monster she is when it comes to that, you know.
I can't. Looking at her size.
Forget her size. Forget that. That means we have to bring plenty of rope. 6 feet of rope on both sides. You're book. You're good. And I walk in with the riding crop. The nipples will stand up so. Like a Western.
Oh yeah. Anyway, folks, taking our time, it's now 14 minutes after 11 o'clock. Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM with your host, Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center that's in Augustine. I tell you, for those of you experiencing something sexual, feel free. Total Image is open daily, and you can always give them a call and check to see when the doctor is available. Well, here's where we give you the opportunity to interact with Dr. Raj. Feel free. 2228255. Also at 6128255. Yeah.
Different culture has different ways of expressing or engaging in foreplay. Like, for example, when you talk about spanking, the British are known for that. They are known for spanking. There's a whole culture of spanking. There's places that you can go to get, and I'm talking about men being spanked by women and all those things. There's certain culture, the clothing that you wear.
Yeah.
There are cultures that engage in S&M, B&D. So it all depends on your upbringing, your exposure. You know, they used to call my apartment in the US, the UN, you know. You know why? There was always a host of young ladies from different countries in my apartment at any one time. You could not come in my apartment and not find a person from a different country, or persons. So all my friends used to say they're going to the UN. Some would be on the bed sleeping, some would be on the floor, some would be watching television.
Some would be jamming still.
Most would be jamming still.
Angel, I see you smiling. Hey.
And I had a foot locker, you know those foot locker, at the base of my bed, with every imaginable instrument and implement for those things. So my friends, Trinidadian friends who had their girlfriend and whatnot, they used to come at me and borrow stuff. Coming to borrow handcuffs today, and they didn't want to buy it and keep it, because in case mommy and daddy come and visit, they didn't want that to happen. So
that would have been bad news anyhow.
They would come over and borrow stuff.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, it's now 16 minutes after 11 o'clock. This is what it's all about on a Wednesday and a Friday evening, right here on Power 2.1 FM with your host, Dr. Raj Ramnanan. Sexplosion, feel free. 2228255, also at 6128255.
Splinter.
Due to the mature subject of this program, parental guidance therefore advised. Yeah.
I just pulled a splinter out of my finger.
You kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. Why would I kid about that? Pain. I have no idea.
Let me see. What finger? That was in this finger?
Yeah, that finger.
But something, hey, somebody, must you feel sandpaper?
Wow.
Wow is right here. My family then had a splinter, there's a bottle.
I know, after it came out, then it's burned. It was burning before.
No. They always say so.
John, who tell you that?
No. They always say, like, sometimes if you're with the wrong person, it don't burn inside, it burn when you come out.
Oh, with the wrong person.
Yeah. But family, that's a bottle you had in your hand there.
So I was telling you about our mutual friend. He was the biggest culprit, you know.
Huh?
What? He was just lucky. You know why he was lucky?
Why?
His good looks. And his
Yes,
features.
Yeah.
That man, what I tell you, that man was lucky.
No, well, I could imagine, well, in those days.
And not only that, imagine sitting in a classroom with him, and he speaks, and he used to talk Trini.
Yeah.
So that look and that Trini talk, that used to drive women crazy.
Yeah.
They should just turn around and that couldn't be coming from him.
Yeah.
Because he will talk plain Trini.
Yeah, he was always like, he's always like that.
Yeah.
But you haven't interact with him for
recently, yeah, for
recently,
all the time, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good, man.
So when that happened, he needed a place to go because he was staying with his in-laws.
The ones, okay.
Well, in-laws to be. So, of course, it was my place because I used to live off campus. I never lived on campus.
Yeah, he's a good brother.
And that's where we would all the different things that became part of my life afterwards took place there. So the practical knowledge was being given, was being entertained, first and foremost.
On the little house on the Perry.
It was that little house on the Perry.
No, I just giving it a hand.
I know. I was going to tell you, it was a kind of biggest house on the Perry.
Well, I can tell you that we are the driving force behind sex education on a Wednesday and Friday here on Pound 2.1 FM with the Sexologist, the only one in the Caribbean, the guru of sex education, your host, Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center out at St. Augustine. Folks, you still got time in which you can interact with him via the telephone. Feel free. 222-8255, also at 612-8255. Yeah.
You know, Junior, when in those days, doing those things and seeing those things and interacting with different things, you really didn't realize you were actually building a foundation for your life later on. You know?
Well, yeah.
It was fun and games then. Thank God there weren't anything like STDs and things to worry about then.
Yeah. No, in those days, that wasn't in the making.
That wasn't even a thought.
No, that wasn't in the making at all. You only had the common
gonorrhea and syphilis something. But you were worrying about that because nobody had that.
Yeah. Okay, what we are going to do is go back to the lines. Hello, and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good afternoon, this is Dr. Raj.
Yes, it is.
I have a small problem, right?
Yes, yes, we're listening to you.
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Yeah, I have a small problem. You have the right? Yeah, make you know. You hearing?
Family, we hear you loud and clear.
Nice, thanks. Yeah, make you know. We are up for about 9 years, right? But you have this. All the time she said life was real nice. But all of a sudden, from what we used to do before, most of the things she can't handle. Just, choose, right? And I have a problem with that.
When you say most of the things she can't handle, what do you mean? Sexually?
Yes, sexually, best position, things, you can handle it proper, and then all of a sudden, she can't handle it.
Well, it may be because she have had a child, she have polycystic ovaries, she put on weight, she lost weight.
After 7 years?
Women does change. Their body does change.
Okay, all right. But we have good children together.
I'm giving you different things that could happen. I don't know your girlfriend. I don't know you. So I'm just telling you things. You even give me a description of your girlfriend, so I don't know. But what I'm saying, there are things that could happen to your girlfriend, or she might not be satisfied also, and she say, well, I don't want to do this again. I don't know the circumstances. I'm just giving you answers.
Yeah.
So don't take anything personally.
No.
So you have to find out from her why it is she don't want to do those things anymore.
All right, okay.
Right? If she put on weight, there are certain positions she mightn't find enjoyable anymore. Or it might be difficult to do. If she has gotten older, the legs and thing might be able to handle certain positions they're going to hurt.
Okay, all right.
So you have to...
I need to speak to her, right?
You're right. Communication. Find out from her what it is has gone wrong, or why it is she don't want to do certain things.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, family, thanks a lot for calling. 24 minutes after 11 o'clock, 222-8255. Also at 612-8255. Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM exclusively. Yep.
Remember, when you like someone or you fall in love with someone, it is that image and that personality that you're falling in love with. If that person is, let's say, 120 pounds, and there are certain sexual positions you enjoy with, for example, you enjoy having she on top of you, and now she's 180 pounds. You feel you want a 180 pound woman riding you?
There's like a tractor on top of you.
Well, right. So your feelings and whatnot will change for a man and for a woman.
Yeah, but sometimes that could be very damaging, you know, because like sometimes she's on top of you with her weight, and you wrenching below under her strain of her weight, and she's having and she's having fun because she's saying, "Hey, look, he's enjoying this thing." Little does she know she's killing you.
What if she have the perfect size?
Well, if she had the perfect size, perfect size. But there are some persons who have the perfect size, but they're wicked. So they'll do things to hurt you.
Yeah, they torture you. Yeah. But when you're coming across somebody with 260 pounds and he's 140, family had have a doctor to stand by. So you never could tell what can happen.
Hi, Sushila, how are you?
There's a breathe. And when you start to breathe, so when you're short of breath,
well, the worst thing,
they're not looking at it.
The worst thing is if the person overweight and they're sitting on your face.
And they have part lapping over.
No, they're sitting on your face and you can't breathe.
And they think
you can't breathe out through your ears.
And they think you're having a ball. When you come in, you're going. Okay, now that person
that's what
left
went.
us. That person left us. No, you're gonna. But then they have some other guys, that find themselves in a position where their spouse, or vice versa, we're not picking sides here, where their spouse have a little weight.
Or change body structure and whatnot.
And even though you're 140 and he is 250, they lift them up like if it's nothing, you know.
Well, you could adapt to whatever, you know, if you want to adapt. But if it's something that turns you off, I know one guy in particular that he do not like slim girls at all. If you slim and pretty and sexy looking at him, he don't want you at all. He wants somebody who is overweight. He always like girls who are big, what you call BBWs.
But he's looking for someone that when he finishes sex, he want to have a little bit he can put in the fridge. No, I mean...
What do you mean by that, Junior?
No, it's big.
Yeah, well, why you put it in the fridge?
For later.
To each his own. Everybody likes whatever they like.
Well,
there are some things I like and there are some things I don't like.
No, but they always say beauty is in the eyes of the beholder.
Correct, but when it comes to sex, it's what turns you on. This is where we have problems in relationship. Because if I am turned on with someone, let's say her size, and we in a relationship, and suddenly she moved from that size to twice her size, which is possible, the way she does it.
Yeah.
You think I'll be turned on by her? You would not be. So you would look for someone around what turns you on to turn you on.
Yeah.
That's just normal. That's just normal behavior, human behavior. Now you might try your best based on love and caring for the person and whatnot, not to want to do that.
Yeah.
But eventually that's what you're going to do. You're going to gravitate towards someone who turns you on in that size, or that look, or that personality. Let's say a personality change. She gone from bad to worse. What?
Look at the face.
Woo! You know, she just vexed for everything. So let me say she vexed up more.
Yeah, no, because when she was coming in earlier on, I see she had on her vexed face. I said,
I tell you, she was trying to get me to say something and I didn't say it. And that's why she come in vexed.
Yeah, come with a real vexed face, man.
And she, let me see a vexed face again. You look like an ostrich.
Does your vexed face? Eh? No?
So, if the personality changes for whatever reason, hormonal imbalance, stress, frustration, or whatever, you will not like the personality. You'll want their personality to be better or more accommodating to you. So you should do things to make that person happier, to make that person project that image of what you want, because you're going to react to that. I'll tell you anything. Any person who out there who are married or have a girlfriend, do you like to approach your spouse or your girlfriend and she face set up?
No.
Nobody likes that. Nobody likes that. So you'll try everything within your power to make sure when you're approaching her, you'll get a smile.
Yeah, because even if you have plans, on getting lucky, and you see that face, you want, oh God, not tonight.
Indira, behave yourself.
I ain't getting it tonight.
No, but forget the plans for sex. Are you even approaching the person to ask them something? Let me say you want to go and lie with the boys. And for them, you walking up to your wife, she have a set up face, or she have a neutral face. You go start, you want to do something to make she laugh before you ask you the question. Because you want she in a happy mood.
Yeah, you want to...
you want a more relaxed mood. Yeah. So you might say something stupid first, or you might make an antics to get you to smile and then say, now I could ask. Well, you know, Roger and them having something up the road, I want to go online with them a little bit. She'll say, yeah, go ahead, man. But if you get she vexed...
Oh, you could tell her... You
well,
know,
go now.
Or if you want to get the lighter side of her, you could say, you know, Jane went to Maracas Beach, but she walked with the air condition because she didn't want to sweat while she get a tan.
By the time you say that, by the time you finish saying that, yeah, you had to stay home. No, you had to stay home, Junior. You stayed home.
No,
you stayed home.
You're going to be that bad.
Just use 3 words. I love you. Yeah.
Say, baby, you look real sexy today, boy. Like you have a date. Yeah. And see a smile come on your face.
Yeah, you see.
So anyway, Jordan, them have something going up the road, guys.
You can see you look nice, even with the colors in your hair, sweetheart.
You're saying that. Don't remind her of what she have in her hair. I find you losing it, you know. I find you losing it. Even if she have the colors in her hair, you don't remind her about that.
No, but if she have the one like the pink and the blue and the and
there he goes again.
You have long hair, Angel. You use colors in your hair?
My hair is naturally straight, so it
you see her hair how straight it is?
No, when I first
it would not stay. Even if I try curling it with a curling iron, get back just like this.
Well, you're a nice woman to make love to, because you know your hair won't run full. That makes sense.
True. That's true.
Yeah. You could fling it up left.
Hey, you know, I never thought about that.
Yeah. You got a little cut out. I gave you a thought. Yeah, her hair just falls right into place.
It does? No matter what you do? It's like somebody turn you upside down.
It would come back the same way.
You see?
I don't believe you. I want to see that.
Well, Wednesday when you tie up, yeah, you can turn over the chair. Anyway, folks, taking our time, 29 minutes before 12 o'clock, Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM on a Friday evening with your host, Dr. Raj Ramdanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center at St. Augustine. And for those of you experiencing anything sexual that might be bothering you, you can check out the Adult Therapy Center of St. Augustine. Dr. Raj, he treats all sexual dysfunctions. But if you would love to interact with him via the telephone, and you still got 29 minutes to do that, feel free, 222-8255. Also at 612-8255. Yep.
I'm very observant, you know.
I too.
Things you feel I don't know, I will.
Yeah. There you go.
So,
things that make you say, yeah.
Things that make you go,
Yeah. But then again, that's providing that your mouth is not tied up. Yeah.
See it now.
You always say, you staying quiet, you know, you saying things, but you're not going right up to the mic. You know? You're saying things from like a bit middle or from a distance.
Wait, we have a set of messages coming in here and I didn't realize it.
No, but you gotta read them.
It wasn't naturally flowing up, so let me get back to this.
Yeah.
Okay, it's taboo. So Cherrybot 23 says, yes, I'm going to she's going to a show tonight, a Shibari show tonight. Stingray tail. Oh God, that is sting. That is really sting. The worst is when they pull it.
What's that?
A stingray tail.
A stingray tail.
Take that call.
Let's be going back to the lines. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Raj, Junior and Angel.
Good evening. Leela says hello.
Family, how are you going?
Risha says hello.
Raj laps tonight. The fellow who they call and saying his girlfriend or his wife change in pattern. You should have tell them to come into the adult therapy center. You lapse there.
Why is that?
Eh?
Why is that?
Because the both of them supposed to come and see you as a doctor to find out the reason.
Well, that's why I ask him to ask his partner what's wrong first. After that, they will decide if they want to come and see me. Alvin, it's not always about that, you know. But thank you very much for that piece of information.
All right, then. You have a blessed night.
Yeah, you too, my friend.
And Junior
no food talk. I miss 3D food.
Yeah, family.
That is punishment.
Okay, my big brother.
Right.
So you hear that? Cherrybot says, don't talk about Trini food. Dulari joined us. Fat girl, write him if he dead. He dead. I'm a fat girl. All right, Cherrybot, if you are, well, no problem. My guy say, leave him, let him dead. Dulari says that. Be body positive, boys. I'm a big girl too. I agree. Flesh fetish. Haha, Junior, don't blast it if you never had it. Put on a blindfold. I think they're all talking about when we talk about size of women. I was just using that as a scenario. Doesn't matter to me too much, but there are certain things that will turn me on more than others. I enjoy attractive ways about persons. The way, you know, if they have similarities and if they have interest in something, that is what attracts me to them. And it is what would drive you to do something, because if it doesn't matter, you see someone who is your sexual type, but she's not interested in sex. Then what, you're going to be bored? You have to get someone who would be interested in doing the things that you want done. And I always remember a scenario playing off in our university days when we went to this nightclub. And this was a regular nightclub. It wasn't a gay nightclub. It was a regular nightclub. And we were all there. I think all my friends were there from Nigeria, all over. There were guys from all over. And this one girl who was an American girl came and she said, I wanted to sample the world tonight. You know what she meant by that? She wanted to have sex with every one of us from different countries. It was about 18 of us from 18 different countries.
She was from a big country.
She was an American.
Oh yeah, but American is that's a big country. She can handle us.
Your play on words.
No, but she did well, eh? Did she complete her mission?
Oh yeah, we accommodated. We started. That was Saturday night. We started Sunday morning and ended. I think it was a Tuesday morning.
Oh, she had her own United Nations.
Yes, that's what the woman wanted to experience. Will a man find a woman who only likes to play the submissive role boring? Will he want a role reversal at some point? It depends on the man. There are some persons who don't like role reversal, and there are some persons who enjoy role reversal. It depends on your partner. Sometimes your partner will say, well, you know, I'm doing this to you all the time. I would like to know what it feels like. Could you do it to me? And sometimes the person who's having it done to them all the time cannot reverse, or will have to find it within them to reverse.
To reverse it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Anyway, folks, taking return 23 minutes before 12 o'clock. The magic of sex education every Wednesday and Friday, right here on Power 2.1 FM with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj Ramnanan, your host here on Sexplosion of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center out in St. Augustine. If you would love to interact with him before he leaves here tonight, feel free. 222-8255. Also at 612-8255. If you are sending him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile 740-1961. Yeah.
Like anything else, you have to know how to change your gears when it comes to things that are sexual. There are some persons who would enjoy being on top. And they're talking about normal sex like you.
Yeah.
And suddenly one day you want the person to go on top of you. But the person is so accustomed being underneath, they don't know what to do or how to go on top. So you have to train them and show them and teach them. They may not know the angles, because a woman being on top of you is not a simple thing, you know.
I know.
You know that?
Yeah, but a woman on top of you. And
what are you laughing at? Tell me.
The family just freak out here, no? Family all right?
What you remembered? Something or? Huh?
Yeah.
No.
A woman on top of you requires certain angles.
Yeah.
Depending on the size of the woman, depending on the lubrication of the woman, the penis could slip out very easily. Very easily. And the person will ouch. Seriously. And the person could go ouch.
Yeah, but the thing about it.
This looked like it happened to you recently.
Yeah, you could see that.
You could see that.
Yeah, you could see that.
I just seen something.
No, that like the before yesterday. You know, the worst thing to do is have your spouse or your friend or your girlfriend on top of you, and she catches a cramp.
Oh yes.
And you think that hey, she is having fun. And she is twisting her face left, right, and center, but it's cramped. She has. And you feel
especially those who just get cramp on their calves.
Oh yeah, and especially you feel you're doing the world. And you say, hey boy, and you're patting yourself on your shoulder, but same time, you know, cramp is a funny thing.
You're right about that one.
No, cramp is a funny thing while having, boy, and you feel you're doing the world.
That time she in pain. She in a different pain.
That family in a different world altogether. And,
so if the person don't understand the angle, and again, even going on a porn set, where you have different positions. For example, where the guy holds the girl and he's pumping her on his penis. You know what practice it is take to do that? That don't come easy. Half the time the women don't angle themselves properly. So the penis slips out. Another time, the guys may not be hard enough. So they have to get a fluffer to get them hard. Because if you're not hard enough, there's a position that it will drop out of the vagina.
So what do you have to get? A fluffer?
A fluffer.
Fluffer. A fluffer is like a warm-up?
No, a fluffer is somebody there to get his penis hard.
Oh, and then he comes...
the woman wouldn't do it.
And then he comes out to the set?
Yeah. That's what the fluffer does.
Oh.
Their job is to get him ready. You want the fluffing job?
No, a fluffer is
Hi, good night, Ravi.
a fluffer. It talks. First, he had to be special, boy.
Sitting topic hot tonight.
No, he's a fluffer?
No, I asked you if you want to be a fluffer.
No.
So, they have to practice it. Get the position, because sometimes the guy, to hold up the woman, depending on the weight of the one. Some women, they will slip down the legs, will actually slip down the guy's arms. So all of a sudden, he's having her here, and all of a sudden, she's down there. So it's uncomfortable, so they have to practice it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What you see, the final product that you see is not the real thing. There are many things that goes before that. Even the lubrication of the woman or the position that she's in, the penetration, you have to get the right angle of penetration for the camera to pick it up also.
Yeah, but you know what I always wonder? How could a porn star, well, especially the females porn stars, how they can have a private life, or if you're married to one, is the sex different to what they perform on a set?
But you had 3 porn stars here, and you asked that question, and they told you, yes, it's different. One is a job, and the other one is love. You remember Inari answered that?
Yeah, but you have to put some kind of emotion.
Well, if you're a good actress, in terms of all women are good actresses, they could fake anything, right?
I come down in a tight bucket.
I come down in a breeze box. I come down in a breeze box.
Do you see? I might look stupid, but you see notice here?
No, I come down in a breeze box. You come down in a tight bucket.
Yeah.
Huh? Women is full men all the time with their sounds and.
No, not yet, but.
Nah, Junior, don't tell me that.
What?
Don't try to be a macho man and say no woman ever fool you.
Okay.
No woman. Wait.
Okay, when you
have had sex with 6 women all your life.
With 6?
How much?
At different times or different.
No, how much?
In my career.
How many women you have had sex with in your career?
In my career?
Yes.
Not much. I'm very devoted.
Okay.
I'm a very devoted man, I know.
Okay, 5.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
So you want to tell me 3 of them have fake orgasm?
No.
At some time or the other?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, then you're better than me. What will I tell you?
Well, I don't forget I sitting with you for 17 years here. So
No. Women could fool any man.
After sitting down here, learning the things from you for 17 years, you tell me, you're going to tell me.
Junior, you could be on top of a woman having sex.
Yeah.
And she could make 2 balls as those at that time she studied. I wonder what time that soap opera started, boy. That is what on her mind?
I never.
Those Indian soaps, you mean?
No, I never experienced something. Honestly speaking, I never experienced.
You cannot sit here and tell me that a woman never faked something with you.
No.
There is no way you could tell me that with conviction.
Family, I'm telling you. Seriously.
So you only had sex with one woman?
No, I'm telling you. No, I'm serious. Never get a fake out yet.
You sure?
Sure.
And you know he's saying not in conviction, you know?
No, I'm telling you. I'm serious. I'm serious, dead serious.
All right, partner. Take the crown.
Because when one area don't work, you go to the reserve. You always have
you see, listen to me. You just confirm what I'm saying is true.
What?
You don't know how you know one area didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about when a woman wants to pretend she having an orgasm. You can't tell?
Yeah, well, if you know the person by the expression.
Oh God, don't tell me every woman you had sex with, you know them.
Mm-hmm.
You are DJ, mister. So don't tell me that.
No.
I tell you, I like to debate, you know.
No, but
just prove you're wrong, because you tell me if one area don't work, you're going to something else. No, you're going through the emotions, and you're at a point where she's. I wouldn't do him that. Kiki, give me
Who's Kiki?
My cousin, Kishore.
Oh, Kishore, family.
It could happen that you are making love to a woman, and she wanted to end, and she just tell you something, or you feel she coming or something. Women just do that. You can't tell me.
I am not saying, no, don't get me wrong. I am not saying that women don't or couldn't do it. But what I'm saying to you, I have never gotten myself in a position where that took place with me.
All right, cool.
No.
I believe you.
I tell that woman in
Does guy fake too?
It's hard to fake.
No,
yeah, guys can fake. That's an easy way to fake, if you know what to do.
What?
Guys can fake?
Guys. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, with ease.
Yeah, just walk with a bottle of water.
Yeah, walking with no water. You could fake.
I'm just kidding. It don't depend.
Do Larry said, Junior, you will never know.
Eh?
I'm telling you, you will never know when a woman faking it.
I don't know. And
that's providing you have sex with more than one woman. Eh?
In my
that's providing you have had sex with more than one.
But I'm speaking in terms of my lifetime. I'm speaking in terms of my life.
Junior, take win. Take win.
No, boy. I might have a sexologist education, but I have.
But I'm telling you, that happened to me many times, and I know when they're faking.
Well, you might have.
I let them fake. Go ahead.
No, but you're more consistent than me.
No, that happened any time. You fix it. You do what you have to do.
No, but I don't know. I never.
You must know when. Well, anyway, maybe you don't know.
No, I haven't had that experience.
All right, partner. Take win. No. All them guys out there will tell you take win. Unless they only have sex with one person.
No, they speak for themselves.
Well, I will tell you, all of them will tell you to take win because you're saying that has never happened to you.
I live in New York on my own. And I mean,
Junior, you're 60. How much years of age?
Don't tell nobody.
Everybody knows your age on this program.
No, but I have lived. And I mean, I came across a lot of encounters. And I can't say that.
I thought it was a breast rubbing, so you know. You didn't see that?
In the fallout. No, they didn't. What are their names? Women.
Jenny and Jennifer.
No, women have names, you know.
For the breast?
Yeah.
All the women you met too also have names for the breast?
No. Santa Claus, right? Jolly and Wally. Yeah. No.
Just like how guys have names for their hand, palm and palm.
Oh, that's if you're using both hands, huh? Yeah, but if you're using one hand, it's palm.
Pamela and she 5 sisters.
Yeah. No, they have some guy. Well, a guy called you earlier on evening in the program.
He was talking about how do you show love when you're having. Yeah. And I noticed he talked about having lunch. Like this person have a fascination to have lunch with you, so you want to know how you will show him that you love him. You.
It depends on who it is.
No, but I'll tell you something. She did pass up a lunch date.
She did pass up a lunch date? How come that happened?
I'll tell you that story.
No. Oh, that's one of those.
Kiki says the best actor is your wife because she wants to please you. That is so right. That is so right. Your wife always wants to please you when it comes to that, so she will try her best to make sure you're satisfied. But you remember, you're not married, so forget that.
Nice.
It's something to think now, you know. Because you think about all them women out there, but you think about your wife, you know. He didn't think about his wife. No,
you send me back a little bit. I'm trying to retract and you know, I just.
So your wife never fake with you?
No.
Go ask her, Julia. I am challenging you to ask her honestly.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you next.
Tell me.
I'll tell you when.
And ask her if there was ever a time she ever fake with you. And I will ask her too, eh?
There is no problem.
I will ask her too. So let me see if you're consistent with your answer.
Family, of course.
Right. And next week we're asking you that question, eh?
You know we cut from the same bolt of cloth.
Angel, don't forget to ask him that, eh?
No. I don't have a problem.
You're doing that tomorrow, eh? Please.
I'm going to wake up.
No, don't wake up tonight. She was saying, you know, if you wake up tonight and ask her that question, you say, boy, that's the only time I don't fake with your baby, eh?
Let me give it to you like the Belmont.
Yeah.
I go and be she up and ask you that tonight. I just give you the Belmont roots. No. That don't happen with your brother. No, not at all.
Don't ask you tonight, eh? Because you'll get the wrong answer.
That didn't happen.
Do she say, honey, you sleeping?
No, that didn't happen with your brother. No, that didn't happen.
All I'm telling you as a friend, go and ask her if she ever fake satisfaction while having intercourse.
The only fake she ever heard is this one recently here. Fake news. That's the only thing. That's the only fake she know about.
Okay, Junior, you win. And somebody said we wanted to answer live. That would have been nice. She up now, I'll call her, you know. Let me call her and see if she
Yeah, call. Call, man. Make a call.
Mrs. Saldana.
Make a call, man. Make a call. Fake news.
She'll say, Raj, what are you talking about there?
Fake news, man. Give me a call, man.
So you can put your head on a block and say that.
Oh, definitely.
That has never happened.
Oh, definitely.
Next week again, it chop off, eh?
No woman pull a fake. I mean, I don't hear a couple of years well, but no woman ever pull a fake on the boy. No, never.
You probably still going to ask her.
I mean, I could. The Muslim, the Catholic, the Hindu,
the Baptist.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Hey, my family. You forget that. But no. There's no fake on that. Never pull that on your brother. Never.
For you, for a rude awakening.
I telling you, never. No.
Eh?
No, never. No, never. No. Me?
I would love to be the flag on that wall when Junior asks that question.
On me? Family, come on, man.
No, nobody could ever do you that.
No, they can.
No person will ever do you that.
No. Never went through that.
I know, Junior. Nobody will ever do you that.
No.
He tried to convince himself, you know?
No, but I'm telling you.
Well, right. Let me done the topic and move on to something else.
I just trying to run down the clock here for we. Family, everybody ever do that? Angel?
She does that to people. Wayne Garcia says never. Wayne Garcia.
But no, maybe it happened to a couple of people, but
to a couple of people? Every man who have had sex out there would have experienced that once in their life.
That he get fake out?
That somebody fake satisfaction in sex? Of course.
No, but they must come across the wrong people, man. No,
they came across the right people.
No.
Because that is reality.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I is UFO, brother.
I feel you're a UFO.
No. I never get a fake out.
Boy, I just know when I get a fake out, yeah?
Yeah?
Of course.
No. Never got a fake. Never gotten a fake out. But it is there. I don't know at my tender age, at 40-something now, there's a possibility that...
No, 40-something years you're having sex.
No, in my time.
If you're 67...
No.
Okay. 50 years now you're having sex. Anyway, you're Belmont boys, so it'll be about 55 years.
No, as soon as I came out my mother's stomach,
it'll be 55 years.
As soon as I came out my mother's stomach, son, come on. You're now born.
No, it couldn't be that size, Junior, don't lie.
No, I'm just saying, but I can't.
You have to do plop.
No. I give it that little shake.
Angel, plop.
No, I give it that little shake.
Plop.
As soon as I came out, Mommy say, you're too rude. Mommy say he's a rude boy.
One lash in your backside. Pap!
No, but as soon as you come out, you get that anyhow. You don't have a choice.
Well, she hit you extra one.
Whether you like it or not, you're going to get slapped.
Do they still do that?
Yeah, they do.
Where?
No, they still do it. No, they still do that. As soon as you're born.
Nah.
Yes, family. No, I'm telling you, they still do it. Yes.
That didn't happen with my two children.
No?
Nope.
No, they do it. No, but they do it still.
I don't know where they just do that.
You see, Cassandra and Jane, did they do it for those? I'm just kidding.
Those are the two that fake.
What fake? You fake. You this fake. You gotta be kidding me. I am one-on-one on you, and we together in a nice atmosphere, whether the lights up or down, and you tell me you faking, and I can't see that. Come on, no. I went to Rosary Boys School and Belmont Intermediate. We grounded. Can't do that. You can't do that. I didn't went St. Mary's Fatima or Curiosity, you know. No, you can't do that. I'm from the roof, behind the bridge. People from behind the bridge don't get fooled, so.
Yeah, Junior, try to convince yourself.
No, I'm telling you.
Please, continue.
No. People behind the bridge don't get fooled, so boy. No. Street sense. We might not have the best of education, but common sense. I like this program tonight. Right, Angel? Thing that makes you go. Right. Fit code. Number basketball.
Hey, Cherrybud, take my phone number down, please. And you on WhatsApp? Well, you know, it's 868-740-1961. I know you could get it otherwise, but send me a WhatsApp message.
Who is that?
Cherrybud.
Oh, Cherry. She's overseas, right?
Thailand.
Oh, she tap a whole lot. She good?
She good what?
She tap a whole lot Thailand? Is Thailand you say?
And she good?
Eh?
Yes, Thailand.
Oh, this is good. She's Trini?
Yeah, Trini.
Oh.
Yeah, she said stop talking about Trini food.
Okay.
It's like torture to her.
Yeah,
And what about me?
She was telling you to stop talking about it, not us.
Trini food, yeah. So you're going to get a bite before you get in tonight?
Oh God. Stop it.
You're going to get a bite before you go in?
Somebody biting she?
No fake or no?
You know?
No, I know that. You don't look like this type.
Eh?
No, you look like you...
Let's see.
Angel, you look like... You don't fake anything. You look like you really gave your spirit into the thing, right? Two becomes one.
I remember IPL starting tomorrow.
I talking about IPL.
8:30 in the morning.
Is it 8:30?
8:30 in the morning. They have the opening ceremony and then they have the actual match. So make sure you watch it. Make sure you support the right team. I have to tell you who to support.
I always know.
I see you have on the dark blue.
No, I always support the team that you have.
Be Trini's on. Well, right, Trini's on that.
Yeah. Sometimes I get tied up because Trini playing on one side and two playing on the other side.
Yeah.
And I say,
well, tomorrow Trini will be on one side and two Trinis on the other side.
Which is on one side? Who's on the one side?
CSK. Oh. That is Bravo. And Pollard and Lewis on the other team.
Hey, Lewis
and Puran.
Hey, Lewis is doing well, man.
Of course.
Lewis is doing
so you know who to back.
Yeah, Lewis is doing well.
868-740-1961. 1961.
Yeah. The year that I was born.
Yeah, right. The year you were born and your mother cut your tail.
Yeah.
That is... She did.
Yes, she was a good... But she's still my grandmother. I grew up with my grandmother. Grandmother was a beautiful lady, man. The old Belmont lady to her heart.
And she was wondering why she have a grandson like you.
Yeah, boy.
Anyway, folks, we've reached the end of our program tonight.
We
have a wonderful weekend, a safe weekend, an enjoyable weekend. Find out from your wife if they ever fake on you. Junior, that has never happened to Junior. We know it has never happened to Junior.
I know my whole life.
We leave Junior in his ignorance tonight.
My whole lifetime. You could say what you want.
Good night.
You have been listening to Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with your host, Dr. Raj Ramnanan. A very special welcome to a beautiful angel here with us on this Friday evening. You know, on a Friday evening, we always have the beautiful angels here with us. And, well, here's where we end our programming for tonight. And for those of you who might be